back, Chatfishes. You're late. Hey, you always wait. You just kept cashing all the time. Well, we did the thing, chat. We've slotted the RAM sticks into the correct configuration. And I've been testing it for a few minutes. Well, let's do it fucking live, I guess.
Is there a Rumble link?
If it works.
Yes, there should be.
Is there a what?
Should be live on Rumble right now, actually.
Oh.
Or Rimble, as... Nope, same error. Oh, just as we did that. I'm very
Crash.
sad.
Nice.
Very
I
sad.
haven't added them yet. Should I?
Nice.
Don't bother.
Okay.
So, the configuration wasn't, while that was fast, if we're going to have it, I'd rather it be quick than sitting here for 5 minutes. Or worse, ending the stream and being like, yeah, it's fixed, and then wake up next morning and it does it. If I have to have it happen, I'd rather have it happen fast. Alright. So, we've eliminated that. Configuration had absolutely no bearing on that whatsoever. Is it possible that the installation is corrupted for the specific game? Scan and repair.
For WoW, strongly doubt it, but
Strongly doubt. I mean, at this point, process of elimination.
doesn't hurt, I suppose.
Because I could, like, I don't know. I'm thinking. Because I ran AoE 3 last night and didn't experience a single crash. So why WoW? I don't understand.
Well, I was talking about this with Reguline before. Now, most of this is speculation, but it really depends on what the game is doing. Because if you're playing Age of Empires, it loads everything in,
Once.
and that's that. While you're playing WoW, every single new person that you come across is getting loaded in. Every single NPC is getting loaded in, and that's probably going to mean a lot more access of the RAM. And if there's something wrong with the RAM, then
I mean, worst case scenario, you can try swapping sticks. But right now, I'm gonna try doing something that also and see if it's a correlation.
I thought I remember you sending your RAM sticks to me, but
More gold, Your Majesty.
can't find anything
Was it sent on Gibbs or Aerith?
on Kibs, I think. Maybe you didn't. Maybe that was someone else. Because you sent me your motherboard, your cooler.
Well, I can go get him. It's not hard. Okay, so that error is still occurring on PZ. I'm not sure if that correlates too. Because I'm just noticing...
What?
Because the other day I tried to host a server for PZ, for chat, and we had played on the server previously. However, it doesn't work anymore. Oh my god, Windows log. Fuck up. Sorry.
What error does it show?
I'll show it again. And I looked it up, and basically it's some other issue. But it came to hosting servers, and I couldn't get the servers to function anymore. And I tried even running a vanilla server. I'll try this as well, because I'm seeing if this is connected. Alright, now PZ crashes on boot up.
Great.
Yeah, there's
No, it doesn't say anything, it just turns off.
Yeah. Don't worry, chat. This is the last time you'll be dealing with this today. Because we'll be doing this off-stream from now on.
I mean, the sad part is that it happens like 5 minutes after the stream starts.
Yeah, it happens sporadically, despite doing pre-testing before going live. Which makes it insufferable. So we'll just do server test 1, which I think is base setting defaults. Nothing special. Polydoin $10 said, getting close to the end of Dawn Trail. Time for bed so I don't collapse at work tonight. Hashtag Yingdio. Hashtag Niafund. Hashtag Siphon. Thank you for your generous donation, Polly, and get yourself some good sleepies. Genghis $22 said, do you need frag? Hashtag Siphon. Hashtag Yingspeak. Hashtag Home for 2. Perhaps. Server has stopped working. Launch normal termination. Which weird, right?
Doesn't really tell you much.
because I'm pretty sure I can actually host. I'm just wondering if they're connected.
I mean, maybe.
No, it works in single player, so this must be a completely different issue then. Maybe it correlates to mods or some sort of corruption there. I wonder if something in regards to a crash that happened during Helldivers 2. I don't know. What if something happened during that specific crash? And this is all connected to that. I don't know. It just seems that we have systemic failures that seem to originate from a singular source. I don't know. What feels like it's all related. Maybe I'm just becoming paranoid.
More gold, Your Majesty.
I mean,
Yeah, that loaded.
what we should do is we should go into BIOS and check the memory speeds. But for that, I need the RAM to know what you actually have.
Yep, I'll send it now. We're gonna let this finish verifying integrity anyways. Scanning and repairing. Sorry, Chatfish, that this is happening for you. If you guys gotta do other things, you gotta do what you gotta do. We won't blame you. But I'll just be sad. Alright, so let's see.
And cry himself to sleepy EBs.
I'm pretty sure it's these items here. Last purchased February 21st, 2023. Corsair Vengeance DDR5 RAM 32 gigabytes, 2 times 16. Yep. And about 2 sets of them originally. 2 sets of 16s.
Send me.
I'm sending.
Send it.
I gotta get Discord open on the other computer. Oh. There. And for Chatfishies who are curious, I'll also put it in the Bickering bunch discussions. Because Chatfishies love and care about my computer. Yep, worst case, we have to replace parts and fix it, Chatfishes, which is tragic and expensive, but not the end of the world. At least it's not the GPU, as far as I'm aware. Import Robin from Swedenland to help you on site. All right, Bensky, I'm gonna need you to board a plane. Chat, you're gonna have to donate a ton of money.
It's about $5,000. Yeah.
Oh, we're not playing Product Zombie right now, Jimmy. In fact, I have sad news on that front, Jimmy. Jimmy's looking at me with his big watery eyes like, whoa.
Stiffy.
Easy is currently non-functional at the moment. Scan is 70% complete, but I will reboot as soon as it's done anyways.
So here it says access violations are the number one symptom of an unstable overclock. But you're running the card too fast or at too low a voltage for RAM or the CPU, GPU to consistently capture the value
We
of the data bus
adjusted
before
the
read.
voltages. You remember that?
We reduced them, yes, but we are at the limit for the CPU. And that, like,
I'm just trying to remember
yeah.
all the things we did.
It's assuming we are at the correct voltage of a 13900K.
Fun times, Chatfish. How you doing, Chat? Being happy? Hugo seems
Everything
happy.
clappy.
Hugo's always happy. In fact, I don't think we need to play
But-
anything to PC Hugo. What's up?
Yeah, if you want to do something on stream, then we can reboot into BIOS right now.
Oh yeah, we will. I'm just waiting until this finishes. I don't want to interrupt it. 89%.
Oh, you're scanning. Okay.
Yep. Figured I'd also run that too, just to see if it's just an isolated issue with the actual game. I doubt it. But again, removing anything and everything. Little Chatfish. My favorite flavor. 94%. Stream the BIOS, please. You have to donate for that.
Where do you
I was like,
even
what? No, I'm kidding.
where do you even find the voltage? Download specifications.
98%. Almost there. The BIOS is very interesting. I mean, it's kind of cool, I guess. It's not what I intended to stream today, but, you know, fair enough. Surprise BIOS
Instead
stream.
of WoW today, we'll be streaming BIOS,
Okay.
Windows BIOS specifically.
Let me update the stream title. It's not the final journey anymore. It's called BIOS stream. Surprise. That's a good thing it's really. Surprise BIOS stream. Somebody quickly put together a thumbnail of people soy jacking at like a BIOS screen.
BIOS screen.
Squirrel's gonna try.
Yeah, I'll do it real quick. I need to close WoW though.
And then use the color filler tool to fill in the white soy jacks with yellow, because there'll be chatfish. Yes.
Paint.net.
This is the best thumbnail, yeah. David the Red Dice sent us 2 questions. First, how dirty was your home when hands arrived? Pretty dirty, honestly. Dirtier than I would like. Second, what's the status on the hashtag made hands fund? I hope he helped you clean your room like a grown-up. Hashtag hands made, hashtag talk fund. I haven't put him to good use, but he'd help me move some tables around.
More gold, Your Majesty.
Currently, hands made is $49. It's trudging along. But I will kill it soon.
The
These
question
meme
is,
funds need to die.
worst case scenario, champ, we just spend a few $100s. We ordered that fucking motherboard. We buy some new RAM sticks. Hopefully, that'll be the end of it.
So yeah, that is done now. So time to reboot into BIOS. I'll bring frag in if
Go for
that's
it.
okay.
You're allowed. You're allowed. Yes. But I appreciate you asking, actually.
Yeah.
Welcome to the bio stream, chat.
What's the size of the thumbnail do you want, Kiba?
1280 times 720. That's the only resolution that YouTube accepts.
Oh, there he is. God damn it, Discord. Can't drag and scroll at the same time. What the fuck? Okay, I'm gonna drag him there and then there. Hello, Frag.
Hey, what's up?
It's a little frogert.
Well, computer's broken.
Yeah, I know. What did you do?
Don't know. I just tried
Don't
streaming.
understand. Yeah, I don't understand why this is happening suddenly. Now, Robin, when you looked into the manual for the motherboard, did it say that it needed RAM slots 2 and 4 populated if you're only rocking 2 of the 4, or did it say 1 and 3?
No, I looked it up.
Okay.
It's in the right slot. It says A2 and B2, which is 2 and 4.
Yep.
Now,
and we did do it.
it booted, and it seemed, knockwood, that it was more stable on this configuration, if only slightly more so. Now, have you tried any other apps to determine, or any other games, or any other high-end applications that could possibly tax your CPU and or GPU?
So what happened was we were trying to play Victoria 3 and Hearts of Iron,
Mhm.
and it was crashing almost instantly every single time it booted up. So we did a bunch of testing, and we tried like downgrading the GPU drivers, and that didn't do anything. And we turned off hyperthreading. That didn't do anything. We reduced the voltages. That might have maybe made small difference, but it was still crashing. And then we pulled 2 sticks, but we pulled 3 and 4. But that made
Right.
Victoria and Hearts of Iron run really well. Like Kibbs played that like all day with one crash after like
And then-
I don't know how many hours of Hearts of
And
Iron.
then, and after we did that, did you try WoW out at all after that?
No.
Not retail, not classic, nothing.
We haven't even
No.
touched it actually since then.
I didn't figure you had. I just wanted to verify.
The things I
Okay.
have done though that I've noticed that I was having issues with is before we had streamed Project Envoy for chat for Jimmy specifically because he
Right.
requested it as a special
Yeah.
request for the community, and it worked fine.
Yeah.
But after doing those things and then trying to stream it again, hosting the server became almost impossible. Though I managed to get it working, and I don't remember how. And then it worked, and then now it doesn't function anymore. And I'm not sure if that's a related issue, which is why I was trying it. But at the same time, if I just host single player, it's fine. But if I try loading any multiplayer servers, it doesn't crash the actual application, but it crashes the actual hosting. It's like, nope, failed, timed
It's not
out.
stable. Yeah.
And another thing that was very notable was that before, when we were trying to run Victoria 3, before we pulled the RAM,
Mm.
in the event viewer, in system or in application, it kept giving you the same error. Like it was actually logging an error, and it was like 0xC00005. And when I Googled that, it was an access violation, right?
Mm.
And once we pulled the RAM, when it became stable, when he did get a crash, it didn't log that. So then it was just like like Victoria crashed for Victoria reasons and not because of RAM reasons anymore.
Yeah, right. 'Cause it's Vicky, right?
Yeah.
Well, shit. This is a doozy. And you went through that one guide I sent you about, the Asus motherboards, for that Reddit
Yes.
post specifically that went over it. Shit. Let me think.
Now the voltages might be wrong because I don't really know how to look that up. I followed that guide.
Well, if you XMP 1, not XMP 2, because there's XMP 1 profiles and there's XMP 2 profiles. Rock an XMP 1 profile on that RAM and load it up. See what happens. The XMP profile, XMP 1 and XMP 2 should come with the timings as well as voltage settings, and like speed basically. It's basically like a thing on the chip that says, yo, this is how it's supposed to be set, because RAM is very tricky.
So
Very tricky.
head up into search then, Kibbs,
Okay.
and type in profile.
Yeah, maybe under profile,
Okay.
XMP, maybe x.m.p. I don't remember where in your motherboard it is located. I remember us finding it and we turned
Just
it into 1. I know that.
just search for X. No, okay.
There's probably like 30 or 40 of those.
Hmm.
Everything has a
Well,
fucking X. So stupid. And
Frame
it doesn't
profiles.
help that Asus names things differently. It names everything that everybody else has an industry standard name for. It names it differently.
Mhm.
Everything.
well, hit exit and then go into AI Tweaker because pretty much everything is in AI Tweaker.
Yes, your
Okay.
memory setting should be an AI tweaker. Yeah, should be.
Here it says DRAM frequency, but it's on auto. I don't know.
Well, if
It says
we have.
DRAM frequency 4800 there.
Mm-hmm. I remember when we set
And
it back up after my first troubleshooting session with him. That's where we were, as I recall.
Just looking.
and Kibbs's memory says 5600 MHZ. I don't know if that is what
Sure.
it should say.
If we load the XMP profile and it doesn't load at 5600, then there could be something weird there. Could be. However, it could be that it's just overvolting or undervolting, and that causes that either way, it could cause serious stability issues. So the XMP profile loading it should say what the optimal settings are for those sticks of RAM from the factory. And in doing so, it should just reset your problems essentially.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
I'm gonna give these soy jacks some big chaffish eyes.
Should I change my name to
Okay.
Garl? Garl seems like a really good name.
So we are in AI Tweaker now.
Mhm.
Does it say AI overclock tuner anywhere? I think it might have been at the top.
Yeah, overclock tuner
All
update
right,
top.
I pulled you up.
XMP.
Yes.
XMP1. Yeah, see, that's so stupid. Why does it have it there? That makes no fucking sense. All right, B clock's fine. Disabled, enforce all limits. Yes, we definitely want that.
Okay.
Don't want their enhancement. And anything that says enhancement, essentially, is my understanding, you don't fucking want because it's it's something that could potentially fry your shit
The
up.
frequency set to 5,600 megahertz.
5600. And if you'll notice the voltage up there, Robin, by the way, where under XMP, it says at the very end, dash 1.25 volts.
Mhm.
That's where it
Mhm.
needs to be. That's where it wants to be, at least. Now, could you get away with it being higher and or lower? Yes, probably. Will it be stable? No guarantee.
So on the right, it says CPU memory,
Mhm.
right? The core voltage, that's the CPU, I assume.
Yes.
But MC voltage, is that the memory core voltage?
I don't know what that means on an ASUS board.
Oh, fair enough.
I'll
I mean, I would
verify it.
assume.
I
I
mean,
would assume.
that's a fair guess. I'm not gonna lie, that is a very fair guess. But it's an ASUS. They name everything different. MC Volt ASUS. What the fuck does that mean? Um. All right. Just in a bad way.
Say something, Kibbo.
Yep, I'll update it.
That doesn't help me in any way.
Memory controller voltage seems to be
Yeah.
what it stands for.
Yeah.
XMP unstable unless I raise memory controller voltage to someone.
Jesus Christ. I'm reading that somebody set their fucking voltages up to 1.5 volts.
Yeah, from Silent Scone, you're in the same thing as me then, I think.
God damn, that's retarded high. Jesus Christ, Asus. I'm never buying another Asus motherboard as long as I fucking live. The fuck were they thinking? That's like fire hazard levels, bro. Like, that's not fucking safe. All right, this is an MSI board. Why is everybody using MSI this generation on Intel? Probably because it's better. I don't know. Asus, AMC, yeah. That's what they're saying on the Asus motherboard. Save settings. I'm gonna deny your cookies, bitch. Enabling merely maxes out power and current limits so that users have to manually set these themselves. Disabled sets these limits to Intel defaults, which you can customize ratios. These limits are still in place unless manually adjusted. Auto means the board has liberty to determine what limits are reasonable, competitive, reliable, and logical. What? What? And this is from a moderator, so this is an ASUS employee. That doesn't mean anything. All right. Scroll down for me, Gibbs.
Sure. Anything we're looking for?
Digi plus VRM. Jason check, voltage load, line calibration. Check the second one and see what settings you have available.
CPU input voltage?
Yep.
Level 1, 2, and 3.
Ugh,
Nice.
that means nothing to me.
Yeah, I love
It
that.
means fucking nothing.
What does
All
that
right, let's
mean?
go. What the fuck does that was PC load letter? All right, go back. Actually, hit the back button and at the top left, underneath my favorites.
Yep.
And scroll down.
Hmm.
Auto voltage caps. Let me look at those.
Did I miss something?
It's up a few. Up, up, up.
In the middle.
Oh,
There you go. Oh, yeah, that's
These are
Never mind
typables,
that.
by the way. You can tell.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you, Aces. All right, let's go back.
Back again.
There's
Okay.
got to be somewhere that we're missing.
I
Thermal.
believe in internal CPU power management. I think that's where we set the
Said the originals.
limits there.
307.
Oh, it's changed it.
That's
Oh
too
no,
high.
maybe it hasn't.
That's still too high. Package power time window. Change that from auto and change it to like 60 seconds. Because at the very bottom, that's
Change what?
yeah, current package. Yeah, it shouldn't be on auto. God damn it, fucking dogs. I swear to God. All right. Change it to like, I don't know, 30 seconds, something like that. It don't need to be no fucking 56 seconds.
32.
It's fine. Just under what
Wait,
it
that's
is.
current package.
That's time. The amount of time it's going to use the maximum amount of power that you're allowing it to
I know.
use.
But that's for
You
package
don't want
power
it-
time window, right?
Right. And that's basically for your load times.
Okay.
That's
what about
you
this
should think of
56
it used
second
for.
thing?
That's what we need to change. I thought we just changed.
No, I changed this one.
No, we
Package.
don't want it to be.
Oh,
The
don't.
fuck is up with the setting?
I
Like I
did.
thought.
I
Like,
did auto.
guys, am I reading?
Who's auto
Am I
again?
reading this? I feel like I'm reading this wrong now.
I can't actually edit the current package power time window.
I
The power time one.
I'm
I
pretty
think it
sure
might
that,
change.
Oh, it'll change.
like,
It says
yeah,
current.
the one that you have
Okay.
the one you have highlighted that you had
Oh,
at
yeah,
32.
32.
Once you save it, we'll set it to from
Gotcha.
56 to 32. That's how I read this.
It's probably a failsafe, so you don't like set it to something that instantly nukes your computer, so you have time to
Exactly.
change it.
Yeah.
Now,
Actually.
what I will say is for the short duration package power limit and the long duration package power limit, I just set that to what it was in that Reddit thread, so I don't know if it is accurate for his CPU, but also I think the short duration, like the long duration, it was around this value. It was like 300 or something, but the short duration was like 30,000 or something. And this value is so different
it's
from that.
sitting-
Like I don't know what that means.
The default it was setting on just let it boost as long as you fucking want, basically. Set it to some arbitrarily high value of time that it will likely not hit in a single session even. So that's why it did that. Like I said before, Asus is really guilty this generation about juicing their parts and trying to get the most performance out of it, but without any sort of consideration for what it does to your hardware.
Mm-hmm. And that's
It's-
specifically a motherboard thing then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, it could get to the point now, though, where it's causing CPU degradation, like semiconductor degradation. And that's something that you generally don't see in your CPU for years, literally years normally. And Asus juiced their shit so much that it's basically like, like a linebacker in the NFL. They last to like 35 and they either kill themselves or die of brain trauma.
Yeah, I've never had a CPU go bad, to be honest. But I never overclock either.
I don't overclock anymore. It's not necessary on current hardware generations because you have modern boosts that are very capable of taking advantage of your hardware in a way that you wouldn't have been able to before. Like boosts are so good. Like it says, oh, well, if we give it this much, how hot is it getting? How long does it take to get to the point where we really reach, problematic temperatures? What is a problematic temperature for this silicon? Like it keeps that into account or takes that all into account because not all silicon is created equal. Not at all. Most silicon is actually quite a bit different. And like we call it the silicon lottery in the hobby. But sometimes you manage to get pieces of gear that can overclock like a fucking motherfucker. A good example is my CPU as well as my GPU in my current rig. Both of them are well outside of standards. But that doesn't mean that I push it. I don't. I just let the boosts do their thing. Now, I also went in and made sure I spent months researching every single piece of hardware to the point of crazy obsessive compulsiveness. Like I made sure of absolutely everything in it, every single component, no exception. RAM is the biggest one I spent the longest time on because AMD RAM is weird and DDR5 is a whole new generation, so I wanted to know. So, long story short, DDR5 is fucky. Now that we have you set at 5600 and the XMP timings are proper though, considering you were having memory issues, I have a feeling that if we save these settings and do a stress test, we may be better off. So let's try.
Save.
Yeah, let's save and exit.
Alright, exit and save changes and reset.
Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if I know that XMP worked before on your machine. I do not know if XMP2 will work with your RAM. If it does, cool. We might want to try that.
Well, we said
Because if
XMP
it's not-
1, right?
Correct. If XMP1 does not provide any more stability, we will try XMP2.
Gotcha.
And yeah, everything looks cool.
So I'm looking at this
it
Tom's
says
Hardware
XMP.
article here.
Yeah, it says actually it's on XMP2 already. So never mind.
was one.
Reverse what I just said. Anyway, well, you're looking at the Tom's Hardware article.
You want to
Yeah,
donate
and
$10 to
it's-
say, I have nothing clever to say, but this is for hands made. Hashtag Psychonetic Fit. Thank you for donation.
Thank you very much. But yeah, it's saying that the now I don't know what TDP stands for, but
Thermal
For the-
delivery performance or thermal something. It's about your heat.
power. But it's saying that the default maximum for the 13900K is 253 watts, and that's
Yeah.
what we're putting it at now. So that's Intel's default.
Yeah, that should work. Honestly,
And
that's what they want you to be on.
and it also says that the amperage limit is 350, and we have it at like 302 now. So
302. So yeah, that should be much better. Just doing math. Yeah, it should be much better. You should be seeing approximately 275, maybe 300 watts on a load. But generally, you'll be seeing reasonable power draw actually by comparison to what it was. And that matters over time. Like, think about it like a good example would be the amount of pressure that you put through your pipes. And let's say you have shitty B&O pipes, right?
Mhm.
Like really bad B&O pipes, just bad B&O plumbing and electricity, just B&O living. All right.
that means
so,
Brazilian, by the way.
Right. Just to
In
be
case
clear.
chat didn't get it.
Right. In case we weren't being clear, let's
Or-
just use B&O as our example. Now, if you're living like that and you have to push and you're just not getting enough water pressure to get your hair clean, you up the water pressure somehow. Let's say you figure that out. Let's say you go to the well and you pump harder than you ever have before. You have your sister pump even, and your dad even. Let's get your dad involved, and you pump and pump and pump, and you pump so hard that you're actually getting good water pressure, but the pipes aren't rated for it. So eventually they start to degrade, and eventually they start to decay, and eventually they fail. Same thing can be said for a CPU, can be said for RAM, can be said for your processor or for your GPU. So all of these things can fail if you just push them too hard, because you're just ultimately, when you push them hard, you're pushing more electricity through them, and they may very well be able to handle that, but for how long?
Yeah.
Now we wait till we crash.
I like this game. It's a fun game.
Now, I don't know if running your memory at like a lower frequency can also cause instability
If it's
compared
not
to
the
what
right
it's supposed
voltage.
to.
If it's not the right voltage and not the right timings, absolutely yes. Because
'Cause-
the memory speed is one thing. That's just one of the things that's being measured when you look at your RAM. So when your RAM says it's DDR4 3600, or in my case DDR5 6400, that's not the whole story at all. You have timings beyond that are individually rated. So like on DDR4, for example, it's like 33, 33, 34 to 45 or something like that. These are just arbitrary numbers. I do not know if these are actually existing numbers. Those numbers typically you need them to be lower. That's what we call tightening up your memory timings. And when you tighten up memory timings, you can eke out performance a lot of times, but you can also cause tremendous amounts of instability if that memory is not capable of running those numbers. So to do that, sometimes you up the voltage, sometimes you lower the voltage, sometimes you you do all sorts of shit. So memory is a pain in the ass. That's why XMP is a thing. XMP is just your memory has the recommended settings basically saved in a file on the memory. So when you want to set it, it just loads that file. And you're done. You're golden. Hopefully that worked today.
Well,
Find
we'll have to see.
out.
I don't know what the default settings are. I actually kind of want to restart my own computer and check, but then I will disappear.
Can I test anything else while doing this?
Well,
You
you can
can't
try
provide-
hosting your Zomboid.
I don't know if
server.
that's related though. That's the issue.
I mean,
It's
test it
it's a
and we'll
memory
see.
problem. Yeah, if it's a memory problem, use more memory. Yeah, actually, that's a very logical way to test it. There's also some BIOSes. I don't know if your ASUS BIOS has it or not, but there are some tools they provide you occasionally where you can test things like memory, things like that, to look for bad sectors or whatever the fuck they are. Memory sticks. I can't recall what the phrase is now. And when I say test the memory, I don't mean just sit there with your thumb up your ass by the lake at Angoro Crater.
What do you think I'm doing right now? You can see my screen.
See you in the game.
You're running both WoW and fucking Zomboid at the same time.
I mean, to be honest, my PC, before we started having issues,
easily be able
I
to
had
handle this.
Helldivers 2 booted. I've had Hearts of Iron 4 booted at the same time, while also editing several fucking very large, like 50 gigabyte plus images in Clip Studio with not a fucking problem in the world.
Yeah, sounds actually right. Your machine's high end. It
My machine
be able
should
to
be.
do that.
Chatfish helped me build it.
The one thing I would do differently in that machine is I would not have gone Intel. That's just because AMD is a better deal, in my opinion. You get more bang for your buck. I know a lot of people will disagree with that. You're wrong. Just saying.
That's
you're
still
wrong.
timed out, but I don't know if that's related,
Hmm.
because that might
you
have
get a-
nothing to do.
Did it crash or did it time out, like disconnect?
It timed out as in PC times out. PC to timeout, I think, is something unrelated. I'm not entirely sure. I just think I have a suspicion it might potentially be related. But I remember having these troubles before. Also, that's why I delegated hosting to Fairman, because hosting the server became such a fucking headache. And eventually I just got sick of doing it.
Fair.
I'm just running around.
For Zomboid, I mean, it's not quite related, but if you go back to Steam,
Steam.
yeah, and right-click on, or well, press stop on Zomboid first, turn it off, and then right-click on Zomboid. Manage, browse local files.
Browse loop of files.
Now, this is you're in common, right? Yeah.
Mhm. Steam app's common.
There's a Steam apps folder there, right?
Yeah.
Delete that.
Oh, delete that. This whole folder?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then what?
And now try playing. It might have fucked up your mods, but we'll see.
I mean,
Yeah, if you had memory problems, it very well could fuck up your settings and your saves and things of that nature.
that might explain why things are all seeming to be related to each other. Perhaps.
Maybe.
Could the high settings damage your RAM cards? Well, PC failed to initialize. We'll try it again.
In theory, actually, yeah, if you push your RAM too hard, just like with anything else, like the pipe analogy I was using, you're just putting too much pressure. And if you're pushing it with memory, when
It
you
won't
tighten
boot?
up the timings, yeah, it may not boot. If it doesn't boot, you may need to set it to default in this situation. So we may need to do that. You should have a clear CMOS button on the back of your machine or on the motherboard. Pretty easy to find.
Now, this might be mod related.
This could be just a PC related issue. PC is not known for being stable, if that makes sense. For example, I could boot up.
So
If you want to see something RAM intensive, I'll just boot up Hearts of Iron. That's RAM intensive, and I'll just turn it on and set it to speed 5 in the background. This has actually been a great way for me to test the original issues when Helldivers 2 was becoming a problem. Because what I did is I would turn on multiple Paradox games, run them in the background, then run Helldivers 2. Just because I was trying to
Gotcha,
speed up the like if there's something wrong, like it's gonna happen sooner. The thing is, I've had Victoria 3, Hearts of Iron 4, and Helldivers 2 running at the same time. All of them playing, because I left them all on running.
he couldn't run Victoria 3 almost at all. Like every single time he clicked to
It does what PCs do.
start a new game, it just crashed almost immediately after it started or even during the loading.
Jeez.
But after we pulled the RAM, it stopped doing that. It started working a lot better.
Yep.
So
Still
what I'm
crashes,
wondering
but it's
then-
also unstable.
It doesn't make much sense to me then that was stable for a while and now all of a sudden.
Yeah,
hates
no.
you.
That's always the fun part, right? That's why I've been like racking my fucking skull thinking about it. We'll load in, I'll set it to speed 5 and mute the fucking noise so I don't hear the shit playing in the background. Because too much noise.
Frag, stop killing those things.
Is WoW still
Why?
running? WoW's still running.
Because we're supposed to get splashed with poison.
Oh, I did. I thought we were just doing questing while we were waiting.
We are doing quests, but that thing's supposed to splash me with poison. You're not supposed to kill it immediately.
Oh, well, I thought it was.
Observe, and
I got splashed with my 20 poisons. That was my 20th.
there we go.
I didn't realize that was the way we did the quest because I can't read.
Fun. I love testing things, champ.
Huh. Yeah.
Well, Hearts of Iron 4 is playing at max speed.
So
in the
far.
background. I mean, I can hear it doing things. Because I literally set the game to observer mode, so the game's now playing itself, by itself. And WoW crashed anyways. However,
Yeah.
Hearts of Iron 4 is still running.
So it might be a WoW problem specifically.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You're not running any add-ons.
Vanilla. Oh, and then Paradox crashed. However, I will point out that
No.
it is modded, so I don't know. Maybe. It still crashed too.
Well,
Yeah,
let's
weird.
take a quick peek at the event viewer.
Okay.
Open that again. Just
Event viewer.
click Windows button or search in event viewer.
I'm getting used to finding this. Good applications.
Windows logs.
I thought it was Windows logs.
And applications there. You've got an error there.
Yep.
In
It
Java.
says. What about the other one?
That's
Both
also the
Zomboid
case.
related, so
The other two
they're
are
so
not
close to each
related.
other too.
Yeah, that's because when we
Yeah.
tried Zomboid those 2 times, time-wise, you can
So
see.
you can sort these by the actual issue you're having. So you can sort by error type if you'd like, as opposed to information and warnings.
No, but we haven't had errors for a while. We had errors again.
Right, that's why I'm saying sort. So you only see the errors.
And I'm
Don't
going
look at
by
the other stuff.
time.
He does have a lot of these errors with like launchers and shit all the time. Like you can see Battle.net is crashing here, and Galaxy crashes a lot too, or has errors at least.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Battle.net, another error.
That's the earlier error that we had, and that was again an access violation. Go back up again to one of the previous errors because it kept having the same code. There it says OXC0000409.
4 O's in total. Before the 409.
Status stack buffer overrun.
What's that?
Buffer overrun, huh?
What's that mean?
That's a memory problem.
Yeah.
I love memory problems. Just, where we?
They're the best.
In other
Now,
words,
when-
something in your program is writing past the current stack frame, corrupting data on the stack.
Hmm.
What memory issue could be causing this? This is
So
weird. I'm trying to think.
XMP was set to. You said
XMP
something
2.
about it being 2.
Yeah, it
But
set
we
it to 2 when we saved it. I noticed that. We may want to try going back and trying setting that to 1.
'Cause I was pretty sure it was actually selected 1, but it's worth going back and testing. Because I
thought
think
we
it
did
was. I think it was set to like auto before, so it might still have chosen like XMP 1 or 2. So it's still worth testing the other one and disabling it as well.
Yeah, maybe.
So let's reboot into BIOS.
Back into BIOS we go. Just like, wah. I think it's, sucked away.
We got BIOS.
Welcome
BIOS
to,
is so
to
cool.
Bioshock, the stream.
Well, technically, it's not a BIOS anymore. It's a UEFI.
How about
Let's be
you?
clear.
Don't fucking argue with me. Everything about
Can you
Yeah.
please not die?
Not possible.
That'd be really cool if you could just not die.
Why not? It's just not possible. Stupid bastard.
Just too
Stop
stubborn to
dying, you
live, huh?
stupid bastard.
Bleh.
How much Billy would stop pretending to be sick all the time? For
Right?
sympathy points. Now look at him, he's like,
we're-
what? Give me
None of us
turn."
feel sorry for you anymore. None of us.
Wow.
Next he's
We
gonna
all
say
just
he
want you to
has,
feel better, so you'll stop your bitching.
he's gonna be like, I have tuberculosis.
I think the only people that bitch about it is you guys, actually.
Tuberculosis.
I
I'm the
mean,
one dying over
you
here, and
don't
I'm
hear
bitching less than
everybody
you are.
behind your back, but literally the only thing anybody talks about when you're not around is how sick you are and how fucking tired everybody is about.
Yeah, we're like, dude, can you please just
Wow.
die already?
Can you please tell them about vitamin C? Somebody, I remember somebody said that. I'm pretty sure that was Harlot that said that. Like he was going on about it.
All right, now we're back in Le BIOS.
AI tweaker.
Okie dokie.
Anything that's
It was
named
XMP1.
Tweaker, anything named Tweaker, I'm not gonna buy from now on.
I'm tweaking.
I'm
I'm
just not.
tweaking right now, guys. Now we're gonna tweak the XMP2, right?
Get it tweaked.
There. Now it's XMP2.
All right, and we're not changing anything else. We're
Okay.
gonna start doing this one at a time.
Save and
to
reset.
narrow shit down.
All right. See, the final WoW stream was actually a bio stream. We bait and switch people. Okay, we'll play WoW with you, and then they like load in. Like, oh, fuck! It's another one of the bio streams they're doing.
Man,
It's our new
these
bio
aren't really
series.
fun at all.
Can we make a playlist channel on the channel and call it the bio series? And then it'll just be random times we've had these fucking troubleshooting streams. Be like, welcome to the BIOS channel. This is the BIOS bunch now.
I mean, if you're gonna have me come on to troubleshoot more for you, I'm gonna have to insist that you make a thumbnail for this and have
He's
me
like,
in
Frogger wants to be in it.
it. Just
Got
saying.
new art
I-
fund. If we reach today's goal and exceed it by 100, we can get an art piece of the BIOS series.
They promise so much
It's not that much.
when they refuse to do so.
I did go back and check in the VOD, and we did set it to 1 before.
Okay, that's what I thought. I could have swore we did, but I remember when we hit save, it said it was on 2 for some reason. Whatever.
it
I
says
could have
1.
read it wrong. I doesn't matter. Doesn't
By the way, Frag.
Yeah.
Leveling an Ungoro crater fucking sucks.
I fucking love
What?
Angora Crater, dude. How
What's
can,
that?
how
There's
can
Donkey Kong.
guys, what's wrong with Angora Crater? Can anybody in chat explain to me what's
The
wrong?
fact that I'm
with
still
Angora Crater?
waiting for a fucking Venom Hide raptor is a fucking problem.
Oh, boo fucking who.
Well,
Wait,
guess what? Your problem's going to be over because it's turned into a BIOS stream.
Wow.
You know what I
always
really
about
wish?
you.
I really wish there was a way to test this faster. Like, if you're gonna crash, just crash. Don't fucking sit there and be like, I'm loaded for 30 minutes, and then crash. like a fucking asshole.
What I hate
Yeah,
about memory is that you can do everything in your workflow, and then randomly, like you're trying to clock out or something at your job or something, your computer will crash consistently when you just do that. And it's the worst thing in the world. I've actually experienced it where my work computer would not let me clock out because there was a memory problem.
God.
No one believed me.
If I see one more fucking pop up, I'm gonna blow my brains out, Chad. I'm gonna fucking do it. Fucking blow. No, I'm gonna blow Hans' brains out. Fuck that.
You have a donation.
Polly, donated $10, said getting close to the end of Dawn. Oh, wrong one. Bino, or Jano donated 25 $12. Bino, terror incarnate, behold, a true chat warrior, your fear made flesh. Hashtag Sockfun, hashtag fit, hashtag Reggie's choice, hashtag fan art dropped. Thank you, fan art.
Gold, Your Majesty.
And the Polish donation. Who's a good Polish boy? Take me.
Poland.
Me good Polish boy. He's not that bad. He's like, "Yay." I'm gonna get the flight path from here, and then you said loading stuff is what's gonna cause us to crash, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna
If it's a
go
memory
back
problem.
to Orgrimmar, and I'm gonna fly.
Fly the whole way.
Yeah, because that should cause it to
Wow.
crash, right?
You
Actually,
didn't
yeah.
crash.
Yeah, it crashed.
Right away, because you said what you were gonna do. Yep.
Nice.
Because fuck you, that's why. God damn it. I really don't want to chalk this up to, RMA a CPU. I hate RMAing CPUs. It is a total pain in the ass.
Big
There's
thing.
got to be something else we're overlooking.
I'm looking at some programs to stress test stuff with, and
Good
I'm
idea.
wondering if I found one here called Test Mem 5, because I know about Memtest 86 obviously, but I think that one is a bit too cumbersome.
Hmm.
But I've never
It-
really used these, so I don't know.
They're all pretty much the same. They all do the same. They serve the same function. Their interfaces might be slightly different, but they all do the exact same thing essentially. So, let's think.
I'm gonna send this one to Kibbs for now. Download this one.
Eh.
Holy shit, my computer got really laggy when I started running this.
All right, gonna start up this thing you just talked about. But I'm gonna cover our screen so the chat fishies can't see our squeaker DMs. Speaking about them, how yellow they are.
Yes. Cow, you're posting your fucking membership milestone while they're all focusing on the bios.
Hey,
He says,
Coco.
"Hey Kibbo,
Thank you,
once
Chow
your
Chow.
computer gets fixed, I made you the best fan art anybody has ever done. Hope
Wow.
you're able to play it next stream. No, it's a video. It's a music. That's gonna get the stream immediately copyright
Claimed.
claimed. Yeah.
Usually. Striked is pretty bad. Striked is I hang myself.
Not only that, but it was the entire song. So no, it's a big no.
Download test memory 5. I thought I clicked that. Download.
Let's download it now.
We're gonna extract this bad boy on my fucking downloads. Oh yeah, run that dot.
Right click it,
Oh.
close it.
Right
Right
click.
click, run as admin.
So there's a solution somebody found for this issue that they're rocking 64 gigs of DDR5 7200. And what they did is they changed it out to a different kit. Worked just fine. It was a memory issue.
What do you mean
It's
kit?
basically
Translate
automatic.
nerd.
In other words, they replaced the RAM.
I have
legit
2
just
more
replaced
RAM
the RAM.
sticks behind me.
Yeah, we need to try to test those too, I think.
Yep. That's the plan. If that doesn't work, we slap in those 2 RAM sticks and then we pray to Jesus. That maybe
Yeah.
one of the RAM sticks was just corrupted or something.
Yeah, one of them just went bad or something. It wouldn't be a seating problem because it's coming on, but sometimes when you're having memory problems with only one stick recognizing and you just didn't seat the RAM properly, sometimes that happens, very seldomly. So I don't think that's the problem. I don't think it's a power supply issue. We discussed that earlier. You have more than enough juice. Now 4090 chat, so can pull up to 600 watts in theory. at load. I've never seen mine do that, but I have been told it can. Now, the Intel CPU, however, that he has is a 13900K, and the same with the 14900K. Both of these could pull way over 300 watts from the wall just for the CPU. So if you don't have at least a 900 watt power supply, your computer will just crash when you're trying to load stuff that uses a lot of juice, like Homeworld 3, for example. Say what you will about that game. I refunded it, didn't care for it. Beautiful game, absolutely wonderful art. And it is actually probably the most intense engine there is for 3D. That thing made my computer cry.
Oh, that
But
thing.
that's
See, that's
yeah,
interesting you say
that's
that. We had no problems with that whatsoever. Ran
yeah,
buttery
but
smooth.
what's weird about that
Behold,
title
Your
though,
Majesty.
is that it's probably the most unoptimized popular title Relic has ever released.
Aw.
It's really disappointing. It's
Just
so unoptimized.
_a_tree donates $100. Thank you for your incredibly generous donation.
Thank you very much.
Just a treat. Well, don't forget Just a Treat. You can go to the Discord server and get access to the Chamber of Squeakrits by DMing me your receipt.
Oh yeah.
Or you can DM Reggie your receipt. Either one of us works. Your receipt will be attached to your email that's attached to Streamlabs. And thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Gay cat, take my money, he says. Not gay, and also not a cat, believe it or not. I said, what? I don't understand. My eyes, they just don't work. So at what point should this thing cause my computer blue screen? So
I have no clue. I don't know how this shit works.
This guy posted this 3 months ago and never got a response.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love
Sweet.
that. That's
And
honestly
this
why I
is
don't
like
bother
a
on the
legitimate-
forums.
This is a really good Reddit post too. It's like really, really well documented. This is what you look for in IT. And this is what you bitch about when you don't get this in IT. This is what we want. Like, this is legitimately what we want to see in a ticket. Like, what do I want to see? I want to see what problems you have. What have you tried? What are you using? Shit like that. Like, this is perfect. Yeah, like dude ran mem test 86 overnight, 14 passes with 0 errors, when still kept getting game crashes. Has no idea what's going on. 0 response from 3 months ago. Almost the exact same rig you have.
The testing is completed. Of errors is not detected. Of errors is not detected. Ugh. Is that English?
Nope.
Some of them.
Okay, so no errors detected. Should I try retail WoW? I don't know.
Sure. Sure, yeah. Try it. I mean, because if it doesn't crash, then it could be that your classic WoW got corrupted somehow.
Well, what do I do if that happened?
Uninstall, reinstall.
What if it does it again? He's like,
Do
nothing.
you like the taste of dick?
Because
Because
that's what I'm gonna have
we
to
have
do to get the
solutions if you
funding.
we got solutions if you do. Let me tell you, we can get you suited right up if you like the taste of dick.
All right, we run around and we do the same thing. But we run around. Don't play the game. Just try to go to places to load new things because that will tax the RAM, right?
Right.
Okay. So we want to go to what's the most things to load? Stormwind. Right?
Yeah, as a Horde player, yeah, go to Stormwind. No, go to Orgrimmar.
Once you should
Yeah.
make it load.
Go
these.
anywhere where there's a lot of people. I don't know what you are on retail. I don't know if you're Horde or Alliance.
Stream
If you're
it.
Alliance, go to Stormwind. I'm not looking at that. I'm reading shit, trying to help you.
My God, the new UI is very weird looking. It's so
See mine.
clean.
Mine looks better in the.
They took away all this shit that covers up the screen and it looks weird now.
Yeah, it's all like
Yeah.
naked. Like I feel like
I hate it. I like it when the shit covers up my screen.
it's like, I love my
Gross.
messy screen. Oh my
I
God.
need everything to be as far away from each other as possible, so I had to look at as many different places as possible all the time to get
Right.
the information I need.
Are you serious? Dude,
Exactly.
I feel like
That's
you're not serious.
that's how classic is designed. Fucking
Yeah.
terrible.
I
Skills
love
are
it.
in the bottom left, map is in the top right,
I want to
It's
friggin-
great.
enemy and your HP is in the top left.
As someone who's been playing Blizzard games since the Lost Vikings, I can tell you they've never been good at user interfaces.
And now they've just made it a very, very small. That's all they've done. It's
Okay.
exactly the same, but small now.
We're almost a Stormwind, so if we're gonna have a
Better
crash, we should have it.
bars. The bars look a little different. Like there's a slight gradient, and they look very clean.
Bing, 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 bing.
There's the mods that remove the griffins from the side of the bars, and I hate that. I hate that mod so much
I have a complete UI overhaul. You would
because I
hate
love those. I love those griffins. They're my favorite part of the UI.
Fucking jeez.
it. Dude, really?
They're completely unnecessary, and they do nothing, but they're stylized, and I like them.
What's
Oh my
wrong with
God.
you?
They never fixed like Storm. Look at Stormwind. Remember how I was complaining about Orgrimmar? Orgrimmar looks kind of
Oh.
like detailed and stuff and
Okay.
textured. This is what Stormwind looks like. It's still vanilla. I see favoritism. That's all I see. Is that loading in effect? What about that? What about pressing big button? What about
Region.
the
You're
button
rendering the shader when you
for
do
the
that, yeah.
fucking like things when I load these?
Yeah. All that's loading. Anything that you're pulling up, looking at, information that you're gathering, you can be looking at the raid journal that's loading something.
While we're doing this, can you launch Hearts of Iron again?
I'll put that up in the background.
And while you're at it, can you straighten up a little bit?
No.
Yeah, sit straight, chat.
Slouches.
Straighten up, guys. Straighten up, guys.
Chatfish are all like louched over. And see, maybe I should unload the mods.
No, no, keep him in.
Okay, sure. Because it does have a tendency to crash like within the first like month or so.
Mhm.
Windows or function and mute there. Now I don't have to hear sounds. That boots up. Let's go. Okay, because we loaded into Stormwind. Let's go to the other city, Ironforge, via the tram.
Of course, you have ultra widescreen
What do you mean? Are you talking to me?
to frag.
Oh, Frag, yeah, he's got one of the big monitors. I'm like, my monitor's not that big. I mean, it's big, but it's not that big.
Yeah.
It's the monitor people complain about. Like, why doesn't the game support my stupid fucking monitor?
Oh my God, Frag's like
not
trying to play
stupid.
old games, and he's like, it's this tiny little box.
Okay, what I do on that is I just switch my display, my primary display, to my 4K TV, and I play on the 4K TV.
You're just too much. Like,
God forbid.
okay, that should be done loading.
Hold on, no.
What?
You're
I can
too
go back.
fast.
What do you want me to do? back?
Open the task manager.
Open the task manager. Okay.
Let's see what you're gonna try.
And then find going to what you see Hoi 4 there. Can you right click it here?
Resource values?
Go to details. Go to
Oh
details.
yeah,
actually.
you have to go into oh yeah, there
Yeah.
was a button there.
And then
details?
right click that. You see how it's
At-
highlighted at the bottom? HOI
bottom.
4.exe.
Oh, yep, I see it.
Yeah.
Right click again.
And then set process or set affinity, I should say.
Set
That's what
affinity.
you're looking at. Yep.
Yeah.
What this does is it says what CPUs are cooled for it to run on.
It flickers
Now-
when I do that. I don't know what it is.
That's weird. This guy's using process lasso, by the way, Robin.
Mhm.
But what you could do is put all of it on the last 8 cores. Last 8 cores of your CPU or your E cores, according to this.
What?
Yeah,
You can-
click all processors
Yeah,
At the
unclick
top?
all- Yeah.
and then scroll to the bottom and check 31 to 8 from the bottom. How many?
It's 24, right?
23.
I think.
All the way up to 23. Yeah. And then okay.
And okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And then load the game and go in.
Now, I do not know why they suggest that you should run on your E cores rather than your P cores, because we all know that E cores aren't as good as P cores.
It's a good question.
Oh my God, Harlot's like, he's fucking focusing on how many mounts I have unlocked. 14 mounts a week. That's because I never really
Our-
focused on mounts. That was me playing in high school. I really haven't touched retail since. Shut the fuck up, Chatfish. Right.
Harley,
what do you mean
keep
the
going.
Chatfish?
Hurt his feelings.
Set to observer mode. Run on speed 5. Now, speed 5 will have more instability. So should I run at speed 4 for stability or no?
No,
No,
it's
make
the
it as
game
instability.
engine.
Okay.
Yeah, make it unstable.
Because mods have issues usually with speed.
Right, but when we run into an issue because this game has the poisoned well of it having mod issues, we do not know if the memory is unstable, stable, or if it's a mod issue.
Okay. Well, that's running in the
Right.
background. Actually, wait, no.
Is
Open
retail
up.
still going?
It is. Where's the little
Figure.
button in this thing? There. Turn off music. Then unmute system sounds. That button. Yep, saved. Every time it gets to a month, by the way, it runs a save. I don't know if that matters.
Shouldn't, but it's intensive. It'll use memory to do so, and that's fine.
So let's wait.
Let it do it. Let it run. We're stress testing. Stress testing means go ham.
It just saved. Pop in loads, which means I technically lose.
Happy.
Pop in.
Yeah,
Happy
things
mode,
pop in
happy.
like models.
Happy model.
Yeah, the turning off the cores is going to potentially significantly affect the performance of the game.
Well, especially if you're pushing it from E or from your P cores, your good cores,
Yeah.
to your E cores, your efficient cores. The efficiency cores are typically used for like background tasks in Windows 11, according to the Windows scheduler documentation that I have read about the subject. But it doesn't always work like that. In fact, in practice, I've seen that it typically is just kind of haphazard. It'll go where it needs, and there's no really rhyme or reason to it. It's very strange,
Okay. Well, it's playing in the background.
Surprised that WoW is still going.
right?
Well, I wasn't moving, so let's go and
Oh,
load
yeah.
things. And by loading things, if we go to Ironforge,
Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
Kibo, the thing is, everyone else is always moving now.
Have we?
Then again,
have we
I think
crashed
this
WoW?
the city's right
have
there.
we what?
Retail,
This
no. Classic, yes.
Yes, we have Crash
This reboot?
Classic.
Yeah.
This is retail at the moment, so we're trying a new game on top of that. As you can see,
King's honor, friend.
they have that outline, and they also have those nicer textures
Yeah.
on the armor.
Yeah.
Go
For
with
retail
honor.
thing.
They're prettier.
Yeah, it's
So-
HDR.
In this thread, some people are saying that they can disable one P core and one E core, and that fixes it. Other people, it doesn't fix it for them. So
Well, what that would indicate is a CPU problem. So it would be like saying on your V8 car, well, if you just run it in V6 mode, it's fine. It won't have any problems. But if you run in V8 mode, you might die, you know. Right? So you're not getting what you paid for, one. And two, you still have no guarantee that V6 will continue to work. But seeing as how you have the track record of knowing that running it at its normal baseline failed after a while.
yeah.
But
See you later, Frederick.
retail should be much more unstable, frankly, than classic.
Something could have happened though, because we were editing things, and maybe some games don't like you doing that, because maybe the game's like loading certain presets. I don't know. Save settings.
I mean, I run a tremendous amount of user interface add-ons for both retail and classic. I use almost the exact same profiles, actually. In fact, I imported my profile from retail to classic to see if it would work, and it did. It works great. So I don't think it's an add-on issue or a settings issue. Could be.
I mean, I don't know how they're doing things in WoW. I honestly don't really know RAM that well, but
You know better than most.
just speculating, I'm thinking maybe in classic WoW they didn't have as much RAM to work with, so maybe they were doing more loads and they were loading things in, loading things out a lot more. And in modern
Or,
WoW, maybe they are loading
here's a
larger
theory.
chunks.
Here's a theory. WoW, when you install it, or classic WoW doesn't doesn't take into account hardware changes. So it's still taking into account that you had the RAM that you had previously. That's a buffer overrun problem. That makes sense. It thinks, oh, you still have 64 gigs, when in reality you have 32 gigs. So it's trying to address memory way out in the middle of nowhere. And when Windows sees that memory address that's not there, it goes to a memory address that is there. It's likely already been used by WoW. Thus the memory overrun, or the buffer overrun, I should say. So it could be that you just need to uninstall and reinstall. Like retail would have smarter code in general, I would imagine.
I never noticed that. Did you notice that?
I mean, not all games are like this. You have to remember that WoW, especially classic WoW, is a prime example of code spaghettification. There's the phrase. There's so much fucking code in WoW that if somebody actually knew what they were doing and went in there, I bet they could delete 80% of the lines of code. Nobody would notice.
Classic runs on Legion client, isn't it? Asked Beefy.
I don't know.
Yes.
That very well could be.
Okay.
I mean, he could be right. I don't know. I think he's right, but if it's a different,
No, he wasn't actually saying it did. He was asking actually.
Yeah, I mean, it could, and if it does, that could be the explanation. This is just a theory. I don't know.
It's a game theory.
Is literally everyone in the Dragonflight City? Is no one in Ironforge?
Nobody ever is in Ironforge. I'm just running around loading things.
Yeah, everybody just hangs out in Valdrakken.
It could be a corrupted save. Maybe I should start running in a reinstall in the background while I do this.
Here's another thing, frag. If you scroll down a little bit to the middle, Ed the Duck posts something here.
Oh, Ed the Duck, my boy.
And he says, download Intel Extreme Tuning Utility. Set the performance core ratio from 55 times to 53 times. Apply, change, and enjoy. Unfortunately, he says that you have to do this every time you restart. But there might be settings for it in BIOS.
Yeah, there are. You can change. You have to find the core multiplier. Multiplier set
Your
by
Majesty.
default on that chip to 54x. If you want to overclock, one way to do it is to change the core multiplier to like 56. And that would change the base clock from a 5.4 gigahertz setting to a 5.6 gigahertz setting as the base. But that's, what you're doing ultimately is just lowering the base clock when you change the multiplier down like that. Good idea. Good work. If we keep running into problems after a reinstall.
Forge be with you, friend.
What? He's live again? Okay, nobody's ever really gone, I guess. It's still running. You hear the Hearts of Iron noise in the background. Beep, beep, beep.
Good sign. Real good sign, actually.
It could just be an isolated issue and coincidental with Project Zomboid.
It could be coincidental, but it could also be that, yes, indeed, that game also has a problem because it was installed when you had 64 gigs of RAM, and it's trying to address 64 gigs of RAM rather than the 32 gigs of RAM it has available to address. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, I doubt that,
It's just a theory. I doubt it too, because Windows memory subsystems should be handling that for you, but some games don't use the Windows memory subsystems APIs in DirectX. They use their own shit because they want to optimize for whatever reason. Paradox, I don't know what they do on that. All I know is Paradox sucks at coding.
They do. Their optimization is shit. The further that game goes, the leggier it gets, because the less optimal it gets. Because the initial start of any Paradox game is always buttery smooth, but by the mid game, it starts It seems a little weird.
Starts
We
to
have to understand that there's
It's like,
1,000 armies on the map, you know?
And if you haven't won the game by late game, you're just like, well, time to start from the beginning again.
Game basically over. Think about it.
It's speeding along at speed 5. I can hear it. Those notification noises.
and the stream itself is fine. I've never
Well,
seen any problems.
The streaming, always remember that the stream PC. The stream PC will never suffer. Because the stream
No,
PC
but, I mean,
does nothing.
The frame rate of the stream itself.
Or the
That's what
game,
I mean,
yeah.
it's- right. The frame rate of the game itself has been great. Performance of the application is good. That's what I'm concerned about here.
The only thing I can think of to help with loading more things is go on the flight path and just flop around.
Good
And you can
idea.
also start that memory thing
In the
in
background,
the
as well.
background.
Yeah.
Right click.
Oh, yeah. Right click run as administrator. It's running. That's running in the background.
Oh,
The
flight
game's
path.
running. Yeah, got it. You know what I like about this fucking retail?
You can
This.
zoom in.
Oh my god, I love that.
Yeah.
That's just so nice quality of life. And you
yeah,
can see the quests and
that's a
stuff.
huge. That's the thing about retail that I keep forgetting when I come back to Classic and then I try to do something. It's like, oh yeah, this has no quality of life built in
Okay.
at all.
Yeah.
Oh, Aristocratic Cthulhu gives $150.
Holy shit.
2 fish and 1 animated fish from Alucard. I
Thank you for
hope
the
that
donation.
computer issues don't persist too much longer. The Cheeks must stream. Sock fun.
He's loving his
Well, thank
chatfish.
you very much.
Ooh.
That's all going to Alucard. Then we had all the current funds.
He's a greedy little bastard.
Actually, the money going to Alucard's always a good thing because he has no overhead when we commission him.
Mhm.
Because he's integrated into the actual finance of the studio, which means that if we put it on Alu, we don't add anything. We don't have to deduct. Versus Indio, being the whore he was, he didn't want to be integrated. Him and his non-committal
Brazilian.
schedule. Just like Carlos. The only few people I was able to trick into being integrated. I was Robin. Robin's like, wait, what? I was Sala and Palu. Integration means tracking is easier. Now Robin's sitting there like, I hate Kip so much.
What do you mean by
Dude.
tracking?
What he means is
No, I was
I
making a
don't-
stock joke. Is what I was
yeah, no, it's fine. But what I mean is it sucks to track your hours, and since I'm pretty much doing, working for Kibbs full time,
He's integrated.
it's
Yep.
like, am I just gonna? Oh no, I'm only gonna work these hours, and then you have to pay me now, and then I don't do anything else for the rest of the month, Or do I tell Kibbs to pay me X amounts, and then,
Testing complete. No errors detected. Ah, and now the game runs smooth again. Yeah, that did affect the frame rate, I will point out.
Yeah, it does.
It was down
Yeah,
in the
well.
50s and 40s.
Yeah.
Let's check on hearts.
Well, David, he's running both games at the same time to test the RAM.
I mean, we can up the stakes if we want.
Yep, we can. You can
Opens
load
up
Classic.
Victoria 3 as well.
Now, we
I'm
might start running
assuming
into
that
issues.
if you were
though.
to open up Classic and try, you would still run into the same problems, regardless of what you have running in the background. or not
We
running in the
literally
background.
can, which is the funny part. Because that might trigger a crash, which might be tied to other things. Let's do it.
Yep.
So we'll launch that. Let's load up Vicky 3. Now, Vicky 3
Sturha
might just
did-
crash because it's not very stable right now.
Sturha said that we could try clearing the cache folder for WoW, which is
Yep,
probably
good.
not a bad idea, but
Oh, great idea, actually.
clearing the add-ons and the WTF folders, I'm not so sure if that's worthwhile.
If you don't have any add-ons, there's no add-ons to clear. The WTF folder could have very well gone sideways on you, though, so that's no big deal to delete and just rebuild. Because the
It's-
game will just rebuild that when you get logged in.
Yeah, it's just that the WTF settings, that's just your personal settings, and I don't think that really would do anything.
Well, if they're fucky somehow, maybe, but yeah, it's still something to try. It's definitely part of the troubleshooting. But to be clear, when we started this issue, we were under the impression that
Oh,
it was a
whoops.
full-blown computer issue, not just
No.
a
I didn't
WoW
move
issue.
around.
You can't be logged in on both keeps.
Oh, you can't? Oh, okay.
That's why you got logged out.
Oh, I'll just leave the client running and nothing else.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true, because technically I only have one sub. You can't play 2 WoWs at the same time.
yay.
Alright, so we're gonna hearth. That does that. We're gonna rack people.
I like the part when they were slaves.
WoW
Crash
crash.
instant.
No, Paradox crash.
No, that was Paradox.
It was
Fix your game, please.
Great advice.
But- And they're like, but it's your
Wow,
computer.
I never thought to do that. Holy shit. Wow. Thanks. I'll start on that right now.
Alright, what can I boot up that's has not stability problem but can run safely? I know. You always have issues.
Like one part of me wants to be playing WoW. The other part of me is saying like, if I keep questing, I want to get like 2 or so levels ahead of Kib, and we won't be able to do things together.
Yeah,
You won't.
it's been like very, very slowly questing.
WoW, you have to play together. Alright, now I'm gonna go to a flight path, and the flight path's on the ledge thing, yeah. And then I'll fly, which
Yeah.
will cause lots of loading. No crashies yet, but soon.
Knock wood.
Now, we haven't changed anything since it crashed last time, though, so if it doesn't crash
No.
now, then... What does that mean?
It means you need to stop being so goddamn gay. That's what it means.
What does that mean? Because I just realized if it starts working now, that's not going to tell me anything.
It doesn't. It doesn't tell you jack shit. The only other thing I could think of, possibly, is a Windows patch of some kind went sideways on you. I don't know. Windows patches do. Windows 11's fucking awful.
I do want to point out that when we still had hyperthreading enabled, we kept running into CRC issues when extracting the NVIDIA drivers.
And that was in
Sometimes-
7 specifically, right?
Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, and I kind of wonder, do other things have that same issue? And maybe sometimes something installs and some memory issue goes wrong and it just installs something incorrectly and it's not able to actually error check it, or
It's a safe
who the fuck
assumption.
knows.
It's a very safe assumption, actually. Thing about DDR5 though is DDR5 has a ton of server error correction capabilities built in ECC, and ECC is meant to prevent shit like that from happening.
I feel like I'm on fucking some form of ADHD right now.
Must
Just
play
now.
game.
I need to fucking play Hearts of Iron, but must also play. Get XP for Helldivers.
Need my daily login bonus.
Gotta make sure we have a correct loadout.
It's no such thing. I'm just testing.
We're just testing, guys. I'm not this addicted to video games.
Okay, what is wrong? Second, the juice just showed up. He hears Helldivers music. He sees Hearts of Iron. He sees WoW in the background. What the fuck is going on? Welcome stream. Oh boy, Chatfish. You are, let them come, Chatfish.
Come on, keeps crashed something already. Jesus Christ.
Watching the bug just take all those bullets and then just sit there.
Have you noticed your frame rate any lower than normal, or is it running just fine?
It's running at a stable, whatever the fuck it is.
Good.
I mean-
Press F5.
Helldivers 2 is,
Press it. There you go.
there you go. What's my frame rate? Yeah, in the
Yeah, but we
100s,
don't know.
80s and
That's-
90s.
Higher or lower?
mean, if you can't perceive the difference, then you're fine.
So we're playing World of Warcraft while Hearts of Iron is running on speed 5. Running a very visually
see.
intensive game.
You're still showing online as well.
Yep,
in
World of
Classic.
Warcraft is still running. I'm still flying.
That's hilarious.
Alright, chat, welcome to the gamer stream, to the WoW super game. We need to go down. Like that. Go down. See, not so hard. Oh my god, trivial is actually trivial. I think that's nice. The mech landed up there. So I think we kind of, I don't know, like World of Warcraft hasn't crashed yet, but it will soon. What? The
Don't say that. Why are you bringing that evil into the universe?
I'm not superstitious. If it's gonna crash, it's gonna crash. Fuel to the ICBM, active. It's an ICBM mission, but there's no ICBM. You just turn on the fuel for it and then it's over. Just start wheezing. Chubby little fucking bucketfish, I swear to fucking god, you fat little sows. You can't call me chubby. I don't need that. I don't need that.
If is playing 5 games at the same time, which means the stream goal is $2,000.
Is that... Well, Trivial, they weren't kidding. If you have a hard time playing this game, you can play it on Trivial. I'll tell you that much. Never played this difficulty before, I don't think.
People will find a way to lose at this difficulty, kid.
Ooh, that sounds like a challenge.
Hip firing only.
Figure out a way to lose.
You can only use one hand.
Only use throwing
Oh!
knives.
Your weapons of choice are the explosive weapons, and you're only allowed to fire from close range.
It's like, you have to make sure they're within lethal range. Yeah, I'm gonna die for sure. So I gotta make sure you die. So, I guess it makes sense.
So the idea of it is that you kill each other to kill the enemies. Because they're within lethal range. But not you, exactly. Big think.
You ever start... I don't know why the breakdown physics are funny. Wow. There's a guy can do this, so I gotta go to bed. Catch y'all later. Bye, little Cthulhu.
Good night.
BW. Thank you for your super generous donation. This is real gamer hours, chat. A real gamer hours. Robinski. We do World of Warcraft and Helldiver streams at the same time.
Is that a question?
I'm joking. That'd be awful. But also playing Paradox at speed 2. I mean, theoretically possible. You have to do 5 WoW quests, then you have to rotate quickly to do a Helldiver's mission while Hearts of Iron is playing on speed 2.
And every time you switch a game, you get a drink. Like, no, that
Catfish
does
is
not
dead.
sound fun.
Catfish all died. There aren't any Chatfish left. Well, I will point out that the year starting date was 225, or 2275. It's gone 2 whole years without crashing, and that's 12 months of saving, 24 months of saving, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
World of
Yeah,
Warcraft is
checks
also
out.
running stably, but it's classic. And retail is running in the background, but it's just the main menu. And I actually made it to my destination.
You're in Daenerys, not in Angora.
I know, but I'm gonna actually go to... I'm gonna go by foot to the manual destination of the next area. I just can't think of anything. Like, I'm out of ideas. I don't know if we fixed it. I don't know if it's, what happened. Honestly, if it was gonna crash, I would kind of prefer that it crashed so that I could be like, oh, it's okay, it's a corrupted WoW file. We just need to purge all of the WoW files and, you know, the base game and directory and then app data roaming or wherever they store the, you know, other files, because they also store some local files usually. And then you do a full purge, and then normally that flushes it all out, you know? If there's anything bad. But the reality is that that didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go through the gate.
That's level 85.
Yeah,
I'm level
do
51.
It. You can do it. I believe in you.
Like, live to win. One shot is one shot.
The RAM that Kibbs is using is also on the list of tested RAM for this motherboard on Asus's website.
So
that
it's
should
cleared.
be fine.
Plus, most memory, like, it's like tires. There's like 3 or 4 factories in the world that make this shit. It's just got a different brand name on it. Same with LCD screens. You're buying a Samsung, you're buying, you know, like an LG, you're buying, what's the other one, Toshiba or whatever. Point is, there's only a few people that make these things.
What if it's
Period.
specifically related to zone? Hmm? Then what?
Then I'd say stop being so goddamn gay. I mean,
I would say in that case, it might literally be the cache.
Oh, you think something's
Since
cached
you've been there
here,
before.
and it's rotten. How the fuck do you
Or
clear that?
Maybe. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't
Okay,
know
for
how
some
any of
reason,
this
my
shit works.
Discord decided to start dying.
Nice.
Squealy's computer is acceptable loss. He's, I sacrificed Squealy's PC to the
But
PC
I'm supposed to
gods.
play Elden Ring later tonight.
He's like, well, guess what we'll be playing? Well, I'll be playing for you. He's like, no.
Whoa, you're gonna do that for me? Wow.
You're gonna be in the same fucking tutorial boss for the entire stream and then go to bed? Yeah.
You'll be grumpy the entire time, just moping around for no reason.
Oh, I have a reason.
No
Very.
reason, you mean?
Now, the Venom Hide has to, like, get Venom on you, right?
Yes.
Get Venom on me.
I think killing them has a chance that. Nice.
Are you
Hey.
even on that quest?
Yeah, I think so. No, I'm not.
Revisaur, no, you don't. You don't have the quest.
Mm.
Fucking wiener. You need to go into the water and spin around with the thing.
So, new PC? Oh god, no, chat. If anything, we're replacing parts of this PC, if anything. The idea of having chat raise another PC fund for a PC they fucking funded, was it last year? I would, no. We're not doing that. Chat really helped me raise money for this PC so that this PC was supposed to be future-proofed. Was what we designed it around. For like a few years, for like 4 or 5 years. Or 3 or 4 years, or whatever it was. So we won't need to raise another PC. Wash the PC? No. But we did actually dust it. Dad took the air compressor to it. After we were, you know, monkeying with it.
It appears my Wi-Fi is dying.
It's over. Oh, Wi-Fi's terrible. That might be why you think your internet is bad.
Hardline.
Yep. If your neighbors kick on the microwave, it can fuck your signal up.
Yes. It's really-
Even without that, with a perfect setup, Wi-Fi is just really bad for everything like streaming, gaming.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
You
yeah, I
cannot do
remember-
anything wireless.
At my mom's and my step-pops, I remember when they finally, like, put my stepdad fucking wired the cable through the ceiling over to me, and then that solved all my problems I was having. Because it turns out that the wall behind me, even though it's right next to the router in the basement, is that the issue is that it's right. That wall, I can't remember. Ugh, there's like a ton of metal in that wall, regardless. And because of that metal, despite the router being on the other side, like literally a few inches away, couldn't access it. Friends come over, bring over the laptops, or whatever. Like they always had a hard time. We always had to wire Cat 5s.
Yeah, and even in perfect conditions, like Wi-Fi, just it has more latency and all of that.
So what
Yep, even
could it
Wi-Fi
have
7.
done,
Yeah.
right? Because okay, so I'm thinking here, we crashed already playing this, right?
What?
We crashed playing World of Warcraft Classic.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
And now it doesn't wanna. Now it's happy.
Son of a bitch.
What's
Game finished $2. How much to put Yinglet stickers on your PC caps?
For how long? Well, let me ask you that question. Yeah, I don't want. I'm not making a Fairbear deal where I have to have the sticker on my PC forever.
And then take forever to get to putting the stickers on.
Because I'm removing it. Because my PC case is very nice looking. It's a bit retarded in how it opens, though, I will say. Whoever designed it, like, what were they thinking? Like, you unscrew it, then the latch opens? But then the fucking thing just comes out? Like, why not just make a hinge? Whatever.
Some really nice cases have hinges and like magnets and stuff for the sides.
The PC Hans is using has got the nice little latch, and you pull the latch, and then it opens up the glass panel hinge, and then you can just access the PC from inside. That's such a nice one. This one, you unscrew it, and then the little thing like acts as if it's like a hinge, and then it just flops out. Like, nope.
Thing with the computer
Man.
cases, like if you're going full size, if they're either spending almost nothing and getting maybe a few cool engineering features, or you're spending out the ass for all the engineering features you never could think of that you needed.
I just want the hinges.
Handy. I have 2 rope straps on the top of mine, so I can just lift it and pick it up and go. But it's a full size, so it's actually quite heavy.
Mark,
Yeah,
hold
I
your
had
majesty.
a full size. Well, I don't know exactly what full size versus like a tower or whatever means. I had a normal case, but it was pretty big. It was like an ancient silverstone case, and it was made of full aluminum, and it weighed like 40 pounds. And it cost like $250 or something, and it was just, like super cool. And the only thing it ended up doing, like it had a lot of space for a lot of things, like a lot of hard drive space and whatnot, but the fucking aluminum just kept rattling constantly.
Like
was
what I do
terrible.
on my cases, and this is like all of my cases now, I take silicon sealant, just caulk, clear silicon sealant, get some caulk, and caulk it up, and honestly, that will take care of 90% of it.
Let's think.
Mm.
Oh, Shadow has rejoined us and says for $20, it's time for me to be absolutely feral, boys. I'm back. Welcome back, little Shadow. Did you enjoy
Back.
driving around in your Bradley tank for how many years has it been? 2, right? Or 1? I forget how long Shadow's tour of being a Shadow was. Nobody remembers.
I don't think you ever stopped being a show, I'll be honest.
Yeah, when are we gonna get rid of you again? He's like, what? I just got back. Yeah, we're sick yet. I'm just kidding. Welcome back, Strato, and welcome, Bean. And thank you for your service, Strato. You little Bradley boy. He's like, just a Bradley boy. I need to get poison or something.
I think the poison quest, I don't think that's like a you're supposed to do it. That's like a special quest to get the mount, isn't it? That's why it
It's
sucks
one out of
ass.
the quests.
I already have 5 out of 20. Splash with venom, hide blood. So I just want to stop attack him and let him hit me.
You can.
Yeah,
Killing them also splashes blood on you.
Oh, I
sometimes.
can close
A little
Helldivers
bit.
too, I think.
Not often.
Mark,
Yeah, I
hold
think it's
your
like half the
majesty.
time it does.
Now, do I want to reset Hearts of Iron later back to what it was, or do I have to not worry about that?
We set it back to what it was, what?
CPUs?
Oh, I no. I don't know if that did anything at all.
Honestly, there's no telling at this point, considering everything's running so goddamn stable.
Maybe that fixed it. Maybe Hearts of Iron was the real problem.
Now,
Maybe the
there
real problem
is-
is the friends we made along the way.
there is a chance that it actually worked, and maybe there was still some residual issues in like the cache file or whatever, and for whatever reason you ran into that and that caused a crash, and then maybe that got overwritten and now it's gone, or you know, some bullshit, like I don't know. But it's really hard to really figure out why it's working now, and like RAM issues are the worst.
Yeah, I
and power
they're
supply.
random.
They're right up, they're right up
absolutely
there too.
concur with you.
Well, power supply can throw issues of all of the things in your computer because one of those things got power starved. So you'll see a RAM issue suddenly, and suddenly you'll see a GPU issue, suddenly you'll see a CPU issue because your power supply is going, and it's so fucking confusing.
Yeah. And Reguline died again. He's back.
Schooly, how you doing, bud? Schooly. Schooly, man down.
I'm with him.
Unless you hate that I have built up Sistrata. You playing some Helldivers too? I had to close my Helldivers too. We were just testing it. We're actually waiting for the next big content drop. But you'll be pleasantly surprised to know that Helldivers 2 has some pretty cool war bombs that you might want to check out, Strata. You're gonna like the bottom one. Ah, it crashed
You're
finally.
bottom.
I knew it.
Oh, they out.
But did the other games
Adam.
crash? Let's
Okay,
check.
I'll check it on the stream.
Hearts of Iron is currently still running. World of Warcraft Retail is currently still running. I'm gonna reconnect it. I don't know why. I don't think that'll do anything.
It lasted quite some time though before it
It did.
decided just to shit the bed. That's infuriating.
See what I mean? This is why I hate testing shit. It's like work.
Heroes of the Alliance. The Dragon
Well, the problem
Isles
is,
have
like,
awakened.
without somebody being hands-on on the unit itself, there's no way to fully and completely test it. Like, you'd really honestly want, like, memory testers and stuff like that for this sort of scenario to verify each stick. Like, hardware memory testers where you plug them in and actually
Here
get
is the hero
full
I spoke
debug
of.
data off of them. So there's got to be something up with those sticks at this point, it feels like. And it doesn't feel like it's
We
consistent.
stand together.
A gay,
Respect must be earned.
scaly. I spit upon him. Okay, so
The obsidian borders stand proud.
I'm thinking.
DK. Donkey Kong.
So you think it's just a World of Warcraft issue? Have we narrowed it down, perhaps?
Sounds like it. I think you should uninstall and reinstall if the cache problem doesn't, or cache deletion
Yeah.
and WTF folder deletion does
How
not
do you
fix it.
uninstall this game again? Uninstall, right? Oh wait, I won't do it.
Wait, no. Let's
That's
try Show and Explorer,
Show and Explorer. Okay.
and then go into Classic.
Okay. Going to the classic.
Select WTF and cache. No. Go back out.
Oh, sorry. WTF and what do you say?
Hold Control and click cache.
Oh yeah, cache. Control click. Yeah, I know.
And press delete.
Okay.
And then we run WoW.
Is there anything in app data roaming? I don't know. Because
No.
sometimes when I've had to deal with this, sometimes so I'm going to put stuff in there.
No.
Okay.
WoW is old. It does it. It kind of does the same thing, but it does it on its own.
I did boot up classic, right?
Where it,
Yes.
yeah.
Bucket fish. Bucket fish.
Now, I don't know if you've changed any controls or anything like that, but all of that is reset now.
Oh, so like the looting button, right? So I gotta press escape, go to macros,
I think so, yeah.
Auto
It's-
loot turn on.
Option interface.
options, interface, minions. No, I think it's controls, loot key, auto loot.
Yeah,
It's on actually.
it's on.
Did that actually delete it?
Alright.
The settings seem the same, like the action bars are still here.
Maybe. The action bars are on WoW's on Blizzard's side, at least. But I'm pretty sure the controls, unless they host controls now too. I don't know.
Help!
Are you gonna die?
Help! Help! As I slowly getting mauled. Oh,
Rest in
that
peace.
reset, yeah. I can't get yet. It's still recharging. So yes, it did obviously clear something. Oh, they actually got like a New York accent.
Jersey.
That's not Jersey. That's a New Yorker.
It's more the Bronx.
Alright, let's be fair. The guns are more tolerable to listen to than Fuzzy.
Oh, that screaming noise actually scared me. Talok died. I forgot Hearts of Iron's running in the background. I
You
just
have
think
Hearts of
Talok
Fire
died.
running and you don't have the Yoda Death Scream mod on?
People got mad at me
Terrible.
for that mod, and not chat. Chat enjoyed that mod. So we had a mod, Robin, where when a nation would die or would be annexed, it would go, because I added the Yoda death scream, and I also added the Jeb Bush please clap. Whenever you research technology, so it would go, please clap. Please. Thought it was quite funny. Nobody else did. Chat,
We're not
you
supposed
liked
to be political, kids.
It's not political. He's just asking for people to
It's
please
just-
clap.
Jeb Bush is only the best presidential candidate we've ever had. How is that not political?
Unleashing. I think Strato needs to unleash. Oh, we need to unleash the Strato. The Strato. What do you call it? Pencil. Now Strato J's ruined, and he wishes he was back in the military again. It's just.
We bully him here, so I can't see why he would want to be back.
I still haven't done all the quests, guys. You're abandoning me again. No, no.
I'm not doing anything.
Have we tried not crashing? It helps.
Yeah, I mean, I can't make any progress on this fucking quest because you know what happens? I keep crashing. Sometimes Chatfish I kind of wish this, work and it wouldn't have problems.
I wish Chevish would explode. You don't always get what we want. Oh.
10 months ago, someone posted, but this is for slightly older stuff. He said he had RAM issues for this 0x FFFFFFF exception X active violation. And one guy said that he turned off XMP and decreased his DRAM clock speed by 200 megahertz, and that fixed it for him. But the other guy said that he fixed it by wiping all his drivers and basically reinstalling Windows.
So everybody has a different way to fix it.
Yeah.
And not just slightly different, wildly different.
Yeah.
Like, one of them's like, well, I just started doing holistic medicine and that cured my prostate cancer. And the other one said, I just had a doctor cut it the fuck out of me. Like, those are entirely different solutions, and that's what we're looking at here. And neither one of those have any sort of overlap. So I don't know if this is going to help. Yeah, it didn't.
Are you familiar with removing anal cancer?
I feel
Yeah.
like merely talking about it is cursing. You said you were superstitious. I feel superstitious now.
What comes to butt cancer, you should be.
Chatfish might get strato cancer instead. So the question is,
Well, how
how long will it take for it to crash? Because it could run until it's time to wrap up the stream, and like, I don't think I'd feel particularly.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. It's
I'm
been-
just
it's
as
been wildly
skeptical as I was. Don't run away, Mutini! Mutini! As I get mauled. Stretch.
I don't have a target.
Frag, you're a healer, yet you do not heal the chib.
Why would I do that?
I need a target.
Last I checked, he's a lock, has drain life as well as health stones. Pretty self-sufficient.
Can't expect a YouTuber to be able to do the game mechanics on his own.
True. Oh my god, there's
Especially
a rare.
Kib. There's a rare?
Get him.
That's an elite.
Overcharging.
Get him. He's a big dinosaur.
This is not a rare, Kibby.
Kill the big dinosaur, Squealy. Oh. Killed him. Are you satisfied, Squealy? It's our that's a big boy. That's a big dinosaur.
That's a huge bitch. Yeah, you no longer have an infernal kid.
Can't cast that.
You perish in
That
battle.
spell isn't ready yet. That's
Kibby, you should use your
overcharging.
Void Walker instead, Kib.
Why?
It's cooler.
I got a big guy with a big fucking axe.
I can't
But Void
cast
Walker's
that
cooler.
yet. That's overcharging. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet.
What if I can't have that disabled? The notification. I can't cast it yet. This spell's recharging.
What if that was what was causing the crashes?
It's because I disabled it.
Because they want you to listen to the fucking goblin.
Like without those key, processes, Robin, the game can't function.
I'm out of range.
Yeah.
I'm out of range. Robin, you don't sound particularly confident of this.
No, I'm not paying attention at all to what's happening. I'm reading.
Are you reading more threads on it? I mean, I
Of
guess.
course.
All the threads
It's not
that I
fixed
found
yet.
on it,
It's true.
all the threads are all different solutions.
I thought we
all
were
of them.
waiting to what you call it?
That's overcharging. I can't cast that yet.
I don't remember.
Overcharging.
We were doing something, but I don't remember what we were supposed to do after this failed again.
Cry. That was one of the solutions, Kibbo.
Yeah, you haven't cried enough.
Sure says he'll
yeah,
think
I
he'll
don't
be surprised
remember.
if it's that issue. Can we delete the WTF from the
There's-
cache?
Yeah.
Well, what was the thought process behind those two folders, by the way? I'm just curious.
If it's a file corrupted because of memory issues, then
That
them
spell
being
isn't ready
rebuilt
yet.
with the memory issues fixed should mean that they don't cause problems going forward.
So wait, what if the PC thing is related? What if any game is related? What
you're
else
having
could
problems with
possibly be related then?
Your erectile dysfunction.
The current PZ crashing issue, it might be that you literally have to reboot Steam for that. Because what we did was we deleted the Steam apps folder in PZ, and that is used to.
Save
I'm not sure what it stores,
I'm not
but it links the mods from the Steam Workshop, and I'm not sure when it builds that or whatever. So it might literally be that it builds things in there when you subscribe to something in the workshop, right? And Steam might have to reboot to do that again or whatever. I don't know exactly how the workshop works, so.
Wait, did Tree ever join the Discord server?
Who?
Tree.
Tree.
I'm just a
You
tree.
mean just the tree? I
Yeah,
don't think so.
I can't find him. Cause
I
he's
think
just
he's a lurker.
he just sent me a message, but like I can't find him in the server. No, he's here. No, his name is Tree. Hold on. Tree.
I found him.
Yeah, he's been lurking since 2018. Holy shit. He's been here for a while.
Your
Yep, all the ranks in between.
chastity belt.
No, maybe not all those. Okay. Thanks, Billy. Appreciate it, bud. Billy, I appreciate you.
Do you?
He's like, I don't believe you. It sounds too good to be true. It's like that time said, Robert, how you doing? I love you, Robert. And Robert's like, he started messaging other people. He's like, is something wrong with Gibbs? Is something wrong with it? That's funny. I see. Everyone's just gonna
I'll heal Kib. Fine.
You know, I kind of think this quest is awful.
It is.
Like, I just have to get splashed with its blood, so do I kill it?
I don't know.
No, it's just an ability it uses. Sometimes it just
And-
randomly uses it the second that you kill it, but it's not related. I think it just randomly uses it.
I feel like it does it on death occasionally.
Yeah, because
Might have run a
sometimes.
script for it. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it just happens to randomly trigger
That wasn't ready yet.
then, because it's pretty sporadic when it uses it.
The chatfish.
Need to get closer.
What got the game working? No question mark.
I can't cast that
We
yet.
haven't done anything to actually fix it, if that makes sense yet. We're currently waiting for it to crash after we just deleted the WTF and the cache filters. Sometimes I'm thinking to myself, with all this stuff we've changed settings-wise, have we broken anything in the process? That's gonna later come in to haunt me later. I don't know, man. I'm scared, man. I don't know what's happening.
That's still recharging.
I think Foxnix needs to be punished.
Always.
His little fucking chatfish needs to be squeezed. Oh, we're only a few dollars away from the daily goal. What's the stretch goal benefit? Yes, the Frogger card.
Frogger.
Frogger's like, please fund that. Please fund that.
I mean, as often as I've been
Break,
on.
break,
lately-
break his heart. Break his heart, Chad. Do it.
Listen, I've given you all the free stuff I can. Don't you have
Well,
other
I haven't got
unclaimed
that
free
ad-
things?
I do. I have an animated chatfish to get at some point.
Mm-hmm. It's time to
I'll
give him
hit up.
an STL
I'll
of
hit
his
up
chatfish.
Raffle.
The printout. You're just gonna have it all. Next up is the custom comm slot, where he gets a fucking fully like illustrated poster of his character.
Okay, a
Hacking.
fish just sitting in a chair.
Like it's got the Matrix effects going on behind him or something as he's like hacking.
Toddley and Harlot both make the daily goal. Harlot gives membership and Todd donates $2. Hello, Bickering Punch. Having PC problems? Has anyone gotten bingo on Kibbs as a VTuber card, lol? Read Kibbs, Reg is Italian. Vlog Robin. Tag. Farg.
Bards.
Sounds fun.
is
Just
this
say
Todd?
Kibbs.
Crashed.
Raise choice. There you go.
It crashed. I like how I was just
Okay.
stretching and it happened and I stretched. Nice.
Good.
Good? Okay.
Alright.
Sucking juice.
Yeah.
Also
I'm very
gives
glad
membership.
you think that's good. Well, it's actually good, Blizzard.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
What?
They're gonna read these reports and block me.
We've made the weekly goal, Diablo. We gotta show
Like
your
gold, your
titties.
majesty.
The hands comes over, just fucking starts beating Kib to death.
Wow, rude.
It'd be great.
There we go. Look at that. Well, Chatfish, are you happy now? Like, well, we'll be, but you're not very much. What's up,
Oh, that was the
Pinskers?
wrong stream. Yeah, you know, reboot into BIOS.
All right, let me just close all the games down. So we know for a fact that Hearts of Iron has been running for 5 years in game, which is quite a bit of saves and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, and back to BIOS we go, Chatfish. Whee! Jet fucking fish, jet fucking fish, jet fucking fish. And before it's just like Blizzard being incompetent.
Genghis kicked in us $2. What does Frag think about Yinglets? Sock fun. Yinglet speak. Homefront too.
Save the
I
one.
mean, my Volpera, that my main moistly is a Volpera, so I like England's actually. I love them. Yeah, I said it.
He's lying. He's saying it to placate Genghis because he feels bad.
No, Genghis is my homie.
He pities Genghis.
Hardly.
Hardly.
What's wrong with Yinglets?
Oh my
Right.
god.
Yinglets are people too.
Looks over at
You know
Binsky's
what a
profile
Yinglet
picture.
is,
It's a Yinglet
Binsky?
all of a sudden with the crown. He's like, what's wrong with Yinglets? Actually, you do know what Yinglets are, actually, Rob. You told
I
me.
mean, I've seen them, yeah, but I haven't seen the whatever porno it's from.
It's not
Whatever
porn.
porno it's
Fortunately,
from.
Like gold, your majesty.
there's no sexual content that I can remember in that.
There's quite a few homosexual sex scenes at least.
Have-
Let's give up.
Have you turned your computer on again? Yeah, there. Delete.
There's actually very many homosexual scenes. With
Actually, there's
Yinglets and
nothing
Oop.
that actually happens. Squirrely's like, fuck, I just lied.
I think
So-
Kib is lying to me.
I kind of, even though it's not a good thing to change two things at the same time, I kind of want, because I assume XMP Profile 2 is more intensive than 1, but I don't know if I'm right to assume that.
Not an unsafe assumption. One thing that I'm seeing rather consistently, the most consistent troubleshooting technique I've seen that we haven't tried is lowering that ratio from 54 to 53. So
Yeah.
that'd
Well,
be that's all I'm seeing that's like sticking out at me at all.
before we do that, I don't want to change this right now, but go up to search.
Okie dokie. Search.
And type in Intel. Is that going to show anything here?
Intel.
Okay, so yeah, Turbo Boost is turned on here. I did see someone say that turning off Turbo Boost is apparently pretty bad for your performance.
Oh, which one?
Turbo Boost.
Are they all
But
on?
No,
let's
next, yeah.
They're all
let,
enabled.
let's not turn that off right now.
Okay.
What was the hit exit? What was it called? The
Genghis.
ratio.
Sorry.
Genghis what?
Yeah, just wait. Wait till after.
died.
Go ahead and continue.
Who?
You, Robin.
Oh.
We'll get supers, but first let's get through this because we can get it when we're rebooting.
So go back to search.
Okay, search. How did I forget where it was? There we go.
and then type in ratio.
Okay.
Is that here? I'm not really sure exactly. Is it the performance core ratio?
Ratio limit. That's an auto, and that's not a drop down. What's the core performance core ratio? The
You can
last
type
drop
here.
down, the third one.
More
Yeah, third
gold, Your
one.
Majesty.
Uh,
Ugh,
no, don't
Don't
select
fuck with it.
anything in there.
Okay.
Scroll down until we get past these.
Efficient core ratio and ratio offset per core ratio limit.
Hmm.
Input voltage, load line, calibration. I don't think it's a voltage problem. But I don't know. I'm not very intelligent when it comes to stuff.
Not sure. CPU ratio.
Have you tried the Intel Extreme Tuning utility from Intel itself at all?
No.
Okay. Might be worth trying. You can try that next.
But that
I'll
seemed
say.
to do what we're trying to do now.
It's, I don't know if it's that simple. I don't really know how to explain what it does because I don't really fully understand it. It's pretty esoteric, but it supports a CPU. I've read about it before. Basically, what it does is it helps some games run better in general. I don't know if it's going to help the Windows scheduler. A lot of people were saying that their problem was, or they ended up determining what their problem was, is they had bad CPU cores. So by setting processor affinity, you're saying don't use CPU core X and Y, for example, if you know that X and Y are bad CPU cores, and then the games that you play will run fine. And the reason that most of your games don't have that problem is because a ton of extremely modern games automatically select those CPUs, or conversely use Windows Scheduler, which is very advanced and can tell you what CPUs to use. So it's kind of a muddled mess. And I think WoW, especially Classic, wouldn't do that. It's just going to rely on first four cores and be done with it. I don't know though. Perhaps Papios can clarify what he knows about that. Perhaps he knows more about the client in that regard than I do. I don't
I
know.
think I said before that he actually he didn't really know. He was just asking if that was the case.
I mean, he may know. I'm just putting it out there. If he doesn't, that's fine. But I'm just saying that could be it. I got nothing at this point. This is weird.
Scroll back up again to the top. Because it is that, the performance core ratio. But click the auto there again.
Before we do, Stura says, I don't know if Kip noticed that the error this time showed int underscore divide by or underscore 0.
Oh, the latest WoW crash.
Was that different?
That's a coding error. If you see that, that's not normally a processing error.
That is a. See. Yeah. However, I would say that could still be a memory error. Because it could be accessing, like a pointer could be pointing to something that's wrong, and it's pointing to something that contains a 0.
Correct.
And
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
that's why you got that.
So that's related, maybe? Yeah.
Potentially.
Potentially.
Very likely, actually. That seems
Considering
reasonable.
that we have crashes. Because WoW doesn't really crash much, right? So the fact that it is a crash is most likely the same reason as what we. But yeah, click the auto drop down on the performance core ratio again.
Auto drop down the performance core ratio. Gotcha. Sync all cores by core usage. AI optimized.
Let's actually hit exit here.
Oh, okay. Don't change anything, right?
Yeah, and then go into the AI tweaker, because that's where that was.
No, change it to Cantonese real quick. No, that's a good idea.
And then let's scroll down until we find the ratio here. There it is. And on the performance core ratio,
This one?
Not the one you're on, the one above it.
with the drop down, not that one. Yeah. Hit back there. Performance core ratio, drop down. What happens if you click by core usage there?
It opens
You
up all
can-
the cores.
You could basically preset your affinity preferences here, meaning you could basically weight the core values. So if you know what your good core is, you could say use your good core first, use your second good core second, so on and so forth. That's pretty, I don't know that we should do that.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to see, because like the ratio is 54x, but I don't understand where that really comes from.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me check. I'll find out where we change that. From there, we should be able to get something, I'm hoping.
All right, go ahead and it's been. I'll read that actually. Is Breg okay with being depicted as a yinglet? Asked Genghis. No, the piece.
Sure.
Not all pieces can be changed. Like if they exceeded piece for exceeding the goal, because that means everybody is forced into that change. It would have to be a separate commission. The reason why is because Kibbs understands that everybody might not always be on board with it, and it's to prevent people from feeling like that. Now, if everybody signs off that donates, yes, then it's fine. But the reason why is just to make sure that people don't pay for something they don't want. That makes sense? So if you can get people to sign off on it, sure. That's why I had to clarify that, Frank. Because not
So,
everybody wants to fund stuff like that.
No, you're fine. I was just fucking with him anyway. On these, by the way, on these core ratio limit auto, we can change that manually here to 53, and that would change the ratio manually. But we can't change it apparently according to this overall. It says go to AI tweaker page, scroll down to the performance core ratio. Set this to auto if it's not already. Then below that, set performance core number to whatever, like 53 or 44 or whatever. That's what they're saying. So the 8 core ratio limit, the one right above it, the very top entry, that's auto, that does not have a drop down, change that to 53. No, above that, up, that one. Change it to 53.
This 53, 8.
Well, shit, it's the eighth core, my bad. I thought it was all the cores. Shit.
Oh shit, what happened?
On your motherboard. You didn't change anything.
Where am I?
Motherboard's a pain in the ass. That's what happened.
Hello.
Go back.
In the performance score, right?
I shouldn't say specific performance core. It doesn't say go to specific performance core specifically in this post.
Oh, where
Yeah.
are we on?
Scroll up for me.
Okay. Oh, here we are.
We can't change it from performance core ratio right there just to a straight number. So I'm not sure what they're trying to tell us here.
Are these type boxes? Like,
Yeah.
can you click and then type?
Because if we wanted to, we could type these manually. All of them, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like one person suggested going like P cores 1 and 2, 57, P cores 3 and 4, 56. This is the one you just sent me, Robin. This is a really good one. P cores 5 and 6, 55, and P cores 6 and 8 to 54. So you want
Now,
to bundle 2 cores at a time together and a downward stagger to see if that sorts the stability issue out. If not, you could try starting from 56 and then setting them all to 56 or stagger them lower, blah, blah, blah. That's a really good solution.
now note that this is for a 1490 or 14900K, and that
Right.
has more cores.
Right. It also has a capability of going higher in the clocks, like the base clock of a 14900K, I want to say is 5.7 or something like that. Whereas yours is 5.4. So your ratio right now is 54. So the first 2 cores set them to 54 and then stagger them down 1 from there in pairs of 2.
So set.
That's a really interesting solution, Robin.
I don't know what it means at all.
What it means is you're saying you want the first 2 cores, the first 2 P cores specifically, to hit the highest ratio, so the highest clock. And then the second set, or second pair rather, you want just under that, and so on and so forth. And the reason you do that is to say, okay, well, if these are the fastest cores, Windows Scheduler is going to go to those fastest cores, do its job. And if it fucks up, we know that P cores 1 and 2 don't like that. So we can knock that down, try it again. If it still fucks up, we knock it down again until it doesn't fuck up. And that'll tell us if it's a CPU issue, like which a lot of these posts suggest it is.
But it's only for the WoW thing.
Well, a lot of people are having random problems in general, and a lot of these forum suggestions are from WoW searches specifically, just to be clear.
I also want to point out that someone else in this thread said if you need to reduce the clock speed to avoid instability, your CPU is faulty, and yeah,
Which
still
is
under
true.
warranty.
Yeah, that's very true. 100%. Like, I don't necessarily want to suggest to RMA a CPU though, if we can at
Yeah.
least get it to limp along for the time being.
But
And when he gets closer to next upgrade, then you can RMA this fucker in, get a new CPU, and use that as your give to dad box or your streaming box or your backup box even.
anyway, in 1 core ratio limit, type in 53 then, and the
under
same in
that,
2,
yeah, and
and
then the
then
next
52,
perfect. Yeah.
51, 50.
And for core 9, 69, 69.
Luckily, we don't have a core 9.
Anyway, that should hopefully will help.
Okay. Now what?
Now you can go into save, hit exit, and then save.
Well, it depends. Do we want to keep it on XMP2 still? Should we
We
change
can.
those 2 things at the same time?
I
Or
mean, I don't think it'll hurt to change it to XMP1, frankly. It's worth trying. Chat, what do you think? Pay for the solution.
Oh God, no, we're not doing donuts. He's like,
Donut
turn
war,
all the
XP
things to
1.
1. See what happens. It's like, no,
Yep.
Chad. So auto again?
no, on 1.
Oh, XMP1. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now hit save, yeah.
Now hit exit and then save and changes and reset.
Yes.
Now the real question is, do you have your RGB on? Because if you don't have your RGB on, that's probably causing all of the system instability, and you've been wasting everybody's fucking time.
My
Yep.
RGB, if it has it, it's on by default.
Remember, chat, RGB gives you at least 5% performance increase across the board, every application, no exceptions.
Well, now we wait. Catfish are like, wow, I love waiting.
And then we wait for the best part, which is to see if anything crashes at all.
Thousands
knows?
of years.
Republic of Gamers.
Yeah. I don't have the same model as Kibs, but I do have a ROG motherboard as well. But mine is like 550, his is 690. But I don't have any issues with it, honestly. But
I had an AMD AM4 X570i, so it's an ITX board, and I put a 3090 in it, a Founders Edition 3090 in it, and the GPU sag broke the reinforced slot, it was reinforced. It had steel around the fucking slot. So there was no reason for it to break. It was under warranty still technically, because it was rated to handle, I think, up to like 3 or 4 kilograms in the slot, and that's not what that thing weighed. That thing only weighed like 2. So I was pissed. So I, RMA'd it. This is before the big debacle that Gamers Nexus found out about them, where they've been trying to get people to pay for their warranty checked out service. And they tried to bill me to fix the board. And it was my fault. I'm like, no, the motherboard specifically says it's capable of handling heavy cards. That's why I bought it. And I want I want it fixed. I'm gonna raise a stink on social media if you don't. And then they came back, said we're still charging you. Then they came back and said we're not gonna charge you, and we're gonna fix it. I'm like, okay, thank you. So they sent it back to me. Wasn't fucking fixed. And apparently Asus has been strong-arming people to pay for what is definitely covered in your warranty. Like they had their handheld ROG Ally units, and like people were sending them in when like the SD card readers were fucked up, which apparently in the first batch a lot of them weren't. And they were saying, okay, well the screen's fucked up, and that's gonna that wasn't under warranty, and it's like a scuffed, like one tiny itty bitty blemish in the plastic, and they want to charge you to replace the whole fucking screen. And they would charge just crazy amounts of money. Like there was one, they had a limited edition 4090 that retailed for $2,300, and they were charging $3,000 for the RMA.
Right.
And it was all it was a white card and it had a scuff on it. So guys, don't buy Asus. They ain't worth it. They're not a good company anymore. Don't care what your previous solutions were like with them. They're not the same company anymore.
On that note, I will say that I do have an AMD CPU instead of Kibs' Intel, and I don't know if that makes any difference, but like, I have no issues with a ROG motherboard as well, but they're not
depends
quite
on
the same.
It's a motherboard. It's honestly, it's if you have to engage in service. This is a big if. Like I'm saying the issue I had was because of frankly something that I should have foreseen. Not that any normal consumer would, but I should have saw it coming because it's something I've been doing for a living for years. I should know. I should have reinforced it myself, and I also should have figured that when Asus was trying to pull a fast one on me, that's what they were actually doing instead of, oh wow, I must have really fucked up was my first thought. No, I didn't. That wasn't my fault, and that's a bad thing for them to make their customers think that you fucked up their product, when in reality, you likely didn't. I had a major problem for years with MSI, actually, literally for years with a single motherboard I bought. This was way back in the day, at least 10, 15 years ago. And I remember I went through an RMA process on one of their bleeding edge elite motherboards and I can't remember what AMD chipset it was, but I ended up RMAing that same board 6 times. And it wasn't until I threatened to burn the fucking service place down that they sent me a working board.
Wow.
It kept catching on fire. I'm not even joking. The motherfucking thing kept catching on fire. I'd plug it in, it'd catch fire. I videoed it and sent it to them finally. And they're like, well, that shouldn't be happening. I'm like, I know. I know.
That's still recharging. I can't
But
cast
I
that
still
yet.
buy MSI products because they tried. They kept trying. they didn't charge me. They didn't immediately say that's not our fault. That's your fault. You fucked up. No, they didn't. They owned it every single time. It might have even been my fault. They owned it. So that's good customer service, in my opinion.
Let's see.
That's still recharging.
Yeah, Ian
I
said
can't cast that yet.
it's crazy that the 1080 Ti was the top tier graphics card at $600. That was before crypto boom. Back in 2012,
Spell isn't ready yet.
I bought a Radeon HD 7950, which was
good card.
the best card
Good card at the time too. Real good card.
for $270.
Back when graphics
But-
cards were affordable. I used to think they were expensive back then, but I remember getting 1080 Ti's and being like, yeah, I'm so powerful. That's also when I was doing the SLI stuff. I was like, SLI!
ruled.
No, it
I like
sucks.
SLI.
SLI's
Yeah, no,
trash,
no,
it
it
doesn't do
doesn't-
anything.
It doesn't work anymore. They don't support it. Like it's not even a supported function on AMD or NVIDIA GPUs at all. If you
Because-
may even have an SLI setup, it's not supported in the drivers.
Because you can like plug them into each other, but yeah, it doesn't do anything anymore. It's like
Right,
they're just
they-
like, I'm using electricity. It's like, I know you are.
In-
I see my electric
NVIDIA-
bill. It's like,
NVIDIA switched gears approximately in 2018. They became more of an enterprise solutions organization, and now they're an AI company, which is why they're the most valuable company in the world now. But like the reason that they got rid of SLI wasn't because they didn't have enough graphics cards to sell you. No, they wanted to push NVLink, which is an enterprise solution. So they wanted the people that were enthusiasts, instead of spending $600 twice, they wanted you to spend $3,000 twice to buy 2 Titans. And that's how they've been since. Now, oh, you want multiple cards? Well, we only sell them in 4 and 8 increments, and the lowest amount that you would pay for a Blackwell would be $100,000 for 4 GPUs at once. And by the way, there's no graphics out. You can't use it for games. Have fun.
I'm out of range. That spell isn't ready
Ian
yet.
says, I mostly play old games, so the 1080 is enough for me. Yeah, before this graphics card, I had a 1060 Ti, and if Dragon's Dogma 2 didn't come out, I would still
Recharging.
just be using that because that's the only game that I've needed it for. And quite frankly, I regret buying it for that.
yeah. I remember you buying it and going like, this fucking. I don't like Dragon's Dogma 2. I thought it was bad. It's just not a good game. It's just kind of shit. And that's what it is. It's a hollow game.
It's one of the most insulting game releases I've ever played, and it was one of the only games that I've actually bought like full price in ages. And I was like, all right, I'll fucking buy it.
I regret that immediately.
It was a mistake.
Jesus Christ,
It was not very good.
like a really shitty beta with nothing in it.
What's your biggest regret game? Like the most looked forward to biggest regret game?
Victoria 3. Though, to be fair, I was expecting it to be bad. But I'm still
Well,
upset about it.
Well, you could be upset, but I mean, like, you thought it was going to be good.
Rome
Everything
2,
looked good.
Historically,
Alright,
if you
there
want to
we
be
go.
like that.
Right.
Historically, there's
Like,
no
that's
game
where I
that ever comes on the same level that Rome 2 did when it came out. Because when it came
feel
out,
like No Man's Sky.
you know, I was sad. I had gotten like dumped, and I'm like, oh, at least I'll have, you know, Rome 2. And then I play this fucking game, and I'm just sitting there like, my life is over. My life
Oh.
is over. There is no happiness for me. There is not.
The best days of my life have come and gone.
And now I want to blow my brains out.
What was the game that I was genuinely excited for? And it just fucking flopped.
I don't know, Spill. You'll eat any
Besides-
schlop. It's like, eh.
You schlop? Wow.
Like, you probably like Fire Warrior if I didn't tell you it sucked. He's like,
Oh,
damn! Okay, go ahead and keep talking.
But I'm thinking about it, like, most of the time I wait to see things about the game before I buy it.
Well, what was the game that
Exciting.
taught you that lesson, I guess
I
something
think-
taught you that lesson. Something.
I
taught
was
you
hyped
that
for Halo 5.
Oof. How are
And I thought, but I was also cautious about Halo 5, so I didn't buy it on launch either.
Okay, so you, but I think that might not have happened for Squealy because Squealy, like, you don't really buy things on launch right away anymore. I mean, I think
Yes, I didn't have plenty of money to buy games on launch.
so. You're very cautious with your money, which is a blessing in that regard. That's why you
It's a good
don't really
lesson.
have those problems that we have. Because like I see Rome 2 and I'm like, I like Shogun 2. I like Rome 1. Surely I'll like this too. Surely I'll...
When it came to Dragon's Dogma 2, I thought it would be significantly better than what it was. It wasn't. So I would say it was disappointing. I would say that would probably be the closest thing to a game that I wanted to be good, but it wasn't, and still isn't until they release something that's equivalent to a Dark Prison expansion.
So how long until we crash?
Because
I'm sorry.
I talked
but
about this with Binsky, but
fucking
Dragon's
thinking
Dogma
about it.
1 and 2 are both extremely bad games that we both enjoy in different
God,
ways.
I really don't. I don't think you enjoy those games. I think you're just dumb.
And it, we're
No,
we're
Dragon's
buying
Dogma
already.
1 is actually fun, but it is still a piece of shit.
It doesn't run. It doesn't.
That's because you are running Windows 11. Like, but well, for me though, when it comes to regretting games, I'm really old, so I don't remember all video games that I've bought and played.
Or found, or sailed the
The
seven seas to
recent.
find
I mean,
out.
you can use
But-
recency bias. No one's gonna call you out.
I would say like Dragon's Dogma 2 is honestly high up there because it's so expensive too.
It's
But-
too far away.
Otherwise, I would say Vanguard, Saga of Heroes, or Age of Conan. I bought both of those games, Collector's
Can't
Edition.
cast that yet.
I bought Vanguard Collector's Edition with my cousin, and it played at 8 FPS on my PC.
Holy crap!
I did play it with my cousin at 8 FPS. It was pretty rough, but
There we go. Fucking hell.
Oh my god, I got it.
and then eventually they just shut down the game because it was dog shit. And Age
You
of Conan
finally
was
got to play.
Age of Conan was kind of similar as well. Like they had so much hype for it, and then it was just garbage. Guild Wars 2 is honestly among that, because we had been waiting for Guild Wars 2 to come out for like 10 years, and then I bought the collector's edition, and then like none of my friends actually played the game when it came out.
Aw.
And then they also kind of dropped the ball with it overall. Because like,
Wait,
if I go back and look at what Guild Wars 2 was like when it came out, I like made a warrior, and I look at it now. It's been, I don't even know how many years, over 10 years, and it's exactly the same. And I can't like change my warrior in any way except for like changing it to a different like subclass, and then it doesn't play like that anymore. So they have literally not added a single skill or mechanic or anything to the game since launch. So it's like, yeah. Still, that one's also pretty disappointing.
All very good answers.
I missed the entire Dragon's Dogma rant that Binsky went on because my fucking Discord was shooting himself. I know it's not my Wi. I know it's not my Wi-Fi. It's Discord that's shitting itself now.
This quest, I hate it.
It's terrible.
I can't use
Yeah,
that
it's
item.
not meant to be done. It's and that's kind of I kind of really hate some WoW quest design because this is supposed to be a special quest for getting a mount, right?
Yes.
But
yeah.
it doesn't, you, like,
Doesn't feel
without
special.
actually reading and considering that, it just feels like another quest. And it's the same for quests that are like, you gotta go and kill. You know, the literal bare asses quests, right?
Yes.
Because those are also not meant to be done right away. They're supposed to be done over time while you're in the area. But before you're like, unless you already know that, the only way to figure that out is to like do it and fail to succeed at it by just grinding and not getting the items, and then you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'm supposed to just do this over time. You know, it's just weird quest design.
Weird quest design and WoW.
Yeah.
Weird.
Were you intently trying to get me stuck behind a root? Guess so.
What? I'm trying to figure out where this guy is.
Oh, that guy.
There he is. I don't know if he's like in the rocks or something. Oh, it's because you're following me. Like, what are you even talking about? Now, how long until it's supposed to crash? Come on, game. If you're gonna crash, just do it
That's a good
already.
question. How long did it take last time? Like half an hour?
Yeah, fuck.
I love how inconsistent it is.
It's like, oh, I hate this. I've hated this so much. When my PC spins, it's like, oh, I'm gonna crash. It's like,
I hope you learned the two takeaways that I hope you learned from this.
And then it at me for another 3 years. And then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna crash. I'm gonna crash.
My takeaway from this is don't ever become a computer technician. It's literally the
Don't be
worst profession in the world.
Damn, Frank's
It's
like,
not.
rip.
It's not. It depends on who you work for.
Some people like problem solving.
I love it.
I mean, what I mean is like working the front end with customers, like user level customers, right? And trying to like fix this kind of stuff with just like your mom, basically, like.
Yeah.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Like, I would rather just become homeless. Holy shit.
I told you, Todd, if you want me to make the Dragon's Dogma 2 video, $1,000.
That's a bargain at twice the price.
But I was actually writing up a script about Dragon's Dogma 1 when I got fucking, what's it called? A tease mode, is supposed to be the word. Because I have a lot of mixed feelings about both versions of the game. And I kind of wanted to put it into a form of video, but I thought about it. I was like, wow, I don't want to be I don't want to be a YouTuber though.
Good.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
And you know what happens when you put opinion videos on YouTube? You're gonna get comments that are gonna say like, "You're stupid."
Yes. That's why I have to tell Chatfish that they're not right and I need to help them. Because if I don't,
Yeah,
they're gonna
it's
never...
your ring.
I'm
It's your
needing it.
ring, kid.
It isn't.
Ring
That's
of the monkey.
No.
Yeah, I made a video, like I kind of ad-libbed it about Disco Elysium, and I kind of talked about it and the design in general of the game. And one of the only comments I got was like, "You don't understand what the developers were trying to do." I'm like, oh, okay.
Alright, I
guess.
didn't. I hated it.
Did you understand? It's like,
How dare you disagree with me?
Right? Like, I have an opinion that happens to them. It's like, you know, the whole acolyte and talking points. It's like, there's some people talking about how it's a shitty show, and then there's a bunch of people talking about how you're racist if you have that as a talking point. It's like, that's not what they're fucking talking about. They don't like it. They don't like it because it's not good. It's that fucking simple.
anybody who
like-
watches Acolyte is part of the problem.
Right, exactly.
Anybody
Hate
who
watchers.
talks about it's also part of the problem.
Like, just
Whereas-
don't fucking
You're
watch.
part of the problem, frag.
Get the
I don't have a
news.
Disney Plus sub, so if anything, I'm part of the solution because the ways I have to watch their stuff if I'm going to. Just saying. But I don't. And I won't, because it's Leslie Headland. If anybody knows anything about Hollywood, they would know that first off, that bitch is horrible, and second off, that bitch is fucking horrible.
Oh my god, you reminded me of this one time when we were talking to a
Thank you.
potential client, and this client's like, yeah, we can we're looking into solutions on how to monetize our piracy problem. And we just laughed.
Right?
Oh, that
Like,
was the end of talking to them, though.
that's not how that works. Like,
It's
people
like
who are gonna pirate
you can't
are going to
monetize your
pirate.
pirate problem because the whole reason why they're pirating is so they don't give you money. So they
Yeah.
don't.
They're going around you.
Like, there's this one developer I know that said, well, people don't buy games in Brazil, so I just lowered the cost of the game in Brazil to the point where people were willing to buy it, and now I don't have a Brazilian piracy problem.
Yep,
That's
service
very
issue is the first way to tackle your piracy problem because
Exactly.
when it comes to piracy, you have different tiers. You have biggest and always most important is service issue. How hard is it to procure your product? The next issue you had is how prolific is your product on like pirate sites. Basically, what you need to do is you need to lower the procurement level, and then you hire companies like what our company did to lower the find thing, so it's easier to procure it via paying for it because not only is it affordable, but it's easier to get. And so not only easier to get, but your common denominator, your common, or what we call it, the casual pirater, doesn't know like how to use uTorrent or doesn't know how to like properly search things. The vast majority of pirators are what we call Google searchers. They search the first page, and if it's not there, they give up.
It's true.
Your hardcore pirater will
How
always
to
find it.
pirate Halo 3.
These guys are ruining my quest. Jesus Christ.
What? I'm helping you.
No.
No. What do you mean no?
Killing a mob that needs to
Oh,
poison me.
fuck. I'll stop
I've
killing.
been healing you, actually.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. My pet killed him.
This is the exact
Robin's
thing
just
I
sitting
got
there.
onto fucking frag for.
Frag
I
or
didn't know
Binsky.
at the time that was the problem, to my defense. Now I'm helping Binsky because he's also a better person than you.
Oh, fuck Squealy. Fuck Squealy.
Look at this
Oh.
fucking simp over
Squealy.
here.
Reguline still just murdering my mom.
Oh my
That's
god.
not that guy doesn't poison you, Vinsky.
Oh, okay.
He's going on about
The only
how
guys
I'm
that
the
poison you
problem.
are the venom hides, and they're fucking
I'm on the wrong side of the map.
harsh
yeah.
spawns.
Good
Yes. He's also.
What makes the World of Warcraft stream so much fun is how the rants are often the dumbest. Alright. Where's the eggs?
You can follow Vinsky around and
Yeah, Fox
Tend to be helpful.
says, I've gotten an abandoned copy of Unreal Tournament 2004 from the net. The source is gone.
Ah.
Yeah. We were actually looking into that. My Abandonware or whatever,
Yeah.
it doesn't host it anymore because at some point they unabandonwared it. But now it's abandonware again, but they haven't updated it, so you can't actually download it there. However, the game actually works out of
you're
the
right.
box on Windows 10 at least. All you need to do is change the resolution manually in the ini files.
Oh, the config.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
so it actually runs.
I love that game.
So
That
we're
was
gonna
one of my
do
favorite all
Unreal
time.
2004 but event. Now we just need to find an abandonware link that everyone can access.
Yeah, I would be down for that in a heartbeat. That sounds like so much fun.
Greetings, man.
If we can get more than like 3 people.
F-Press has been married for 19 months. Binskimus, we will die for glory. Binskimus, we will fight with you. Binskimus, we will tell the story. Binskimus, a programmer just.
Oh, Wes is a big fan. He's a
Thank you very
Binsky
much,
sim.
F-President. As I always
Get
say,
it, Binsky, get it.
Harlot went
F's
to
in
bed.
chat
None
for
of
F
you guys
President.
said good night, by the way. I hope you guys feel better.
Oh. Good night, Harlot.
Good night, little Harlot.
Hurl it.
You little racist.
I have not been paying attention to the game at all.
Yeah, me
You don't
neither,
need
dude.
to. You're,
Honestly,
you're weighing
I'm
these
like-
poisons.
I'm waiting for me to fucking crash. That's what I'm doing. I don't know what you guys are doing.
It's
And I
almost
don't.
like Frag was wrong and Ungor Critter sucks ass.
Hey, I take that personal.
There's no other
Like, what do you
place I'd
get
rather
personal?
crash than
I
on
like
Goro
this
Creative.
zone.
Pack of juvenile blood petals slain. Well, I guess I just kill them.
You need to kill a whole pack of them, anyways.
Oh, poison me. I'm fighting 2 of them and they're not poisoning me. Poison me, bitch.
I'm gonna stop shielding you because I think the shield's actually percentage.
It might.
Yeah, because if you can't damage, you can't poison you potentially.
I have seen it say immune.
There you go.
With the alt X.
Nice.
Yeah, I finished it.
Cool, now I'm shielding your ass.
Time to go heal Chip because he's gonna die from babies.
That's fine.
Or fat fish.
One way I can get my pound of flesh out of him is watching him suffer.
Sometimes catfish need to be punished.
I feel like a Chatfish is just 8 pounds of flesh. Like if you look at a Chatfish, like they could just be a pound of flesh.
Hold on a second. Draconis is lying again as usual. Or English. He says, chat, you can always punish Squealy and make him reread part 2. He says, now I have people to feed. Back to lurk as I cook. Who the... Draconis, you can't take care of yourself. Somebody cooks for you. Don't fucking lie. You're not feeding anyone. I wouldn't trust Draconis food if it was the last fucking cheeseburger on the planet.
It's fresh, he says. It's 3 weeks old.
I mean, that's the typical kid's meal, so I don't see.
Oh my god. Don't you dare.
No, a typical kid meal that has expired for a year.
Robin's
and
like,
you eat it.
don't throw stones in glass houses, Kib. And Kib's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
At least you're
Robin.
not eating moldy bread like some other streamers I've seen.
Okay.
Just saying. You can judge a lot, but not that much.
A world of juvenile murderation.
I'm with Kibs and you'll see
Oh.
furry shades of gay. She's like,
Why
okay.
Why first shit to gay kid?
Come with Kibs and you'll see.
Come. Just come.
Hold still, you little fucking autistic spurg. Okay. You don't hold still anymore. Sorry. I was talking to Frag. I don't know where you are.
I'm literally just basically hugging your ass.
So at
Butt
what point
hugger
were we
over
gonna
here.
crash? Like what point game? Game?
When we give up and think that it works. That's
Okay, so like I've come to the conclusion that we fixed the problem, and I don't know what we did to fix it, but it'll never happen again.
There you go.
It will
bait
happen
it,
again.
Now,
Bait it.
in reality, because we kind of, I don't know if it's exactly true, but we kind of reduced the clock speed, or we basically reduced your CPU's capabilities, I guess, a little
So
bit.
my computers become
And-
retarded. Wait, don't get.
What that
Yes.
might mean
Yes.
is that while the problem might still be there, it might happen less, which might mean that
Or-
it's now more random.
Or it might just be harder for it to get to the point where it, or the threshold where it will trigger.
So is it my
And
CPU
it
that's
might
broken
not.
now? Like, what are we figuring? What have we figured out?
Well, we changed both XMP and the CPU ratios, so either or both, maybe. There's no technical telling.
Should I
right
just
now.
buy a whole brand new PC at this rate? Like, we're not
I
doing
mean,
that. We're not doing-
there's new CPUs coming out actually at the end of July from AMD.
Buying
it
the
might be
new
worth
thing is
considering.
never a good idea from what I've learned.
I wouldn't buy it right away.
Because
I would
new
wait
thing
until the new
often is
motherboards
filled
come
with
out.
problems.
Right, like it's like when you buy a first model car, your car, like you run into weird problems at the engine.
Like you're pushing the brakes and it don't fucking stop and it just keeps going.
Or like on the Cybertruck, how the big ass windshield wiper apparently is pretty easy just to fall off. Or how the brake will just jam up if you push it hard enough because the plastic by the
gold, Your
floorboard will
Majesty.
catch the brake and hold it down.
Or how the wheels will literally just fall off.
Oh my god,
Can we go on about that bad
is
they
this
are?
Cybertruck that bad? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's fucking total dog shit.
It's
Like
apparently so bad.
the axles on the wheels will just like, well, and then it just like
fall.
folds.
Yeah.
Why is it so bad? I don't get it.
I don't know.
first generation model, just like you were saying
Yeah,
about a
pretty
first
much.
generation CPU. Technically, also this AMD is a ground up redesign.
Hmm.
So while on paper that's a great thing for a CPU, it doesn't hold all the old baggage that may be holding it back. It's also an early adopter nightmare. You're basically a beta tester for the hardware, and you're paying for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just don't buy the first generation of Cybertruck.
Right. Wait until somebody else makes it worthwhile, because they haven't yet. And plus, it's ugly.
Also,
Come on, guys.
Genghis
very
donates $1
Thank
to say, see, what it really needs desperately is, it doesn't need to be so angular. Maybe smooth out the edges a bit.
Have you seen that people have been buffing them out to like a mirror shine?
So,
That's
What did Genghis
horribly
say?
dangerous.
What did Genghis say?
Genghis said for $1 says, I think English needs a YEI, Englet Equity and Inclusion Officer. Embrace your
Yes.
new identity, English. Sock, Ying speak. Hashtag Homefront 2.
Genghis cracks me up.
Genghis is our little boy toy now. See, Genghis keep. Fish toy. Now, where the fuck is this goddamn. Oh, I gotta place the bait? No wonder. I wasn't reading.
You gotta go to a flat rock, and then you place the meats, and then you salt the meats,
Alright,
and then you kill a guy.
Point of interest. Flat rock.
Animals are funny.
Animals are funny?
Yeah, I love because you mentioned salt. I love how like herbivores will just come up to people and just like lick the shit out of your arms. Yum, 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 salt.
Because they're kind of retarded.
Standing there and just licking at you.
Well, they're licking off the sweat off your body.
Yeah, because they need salt. Funny.
Gibbo, he's so scary and dangerous. He has a whole quest about him, and he's dead.
Why do humans sweat out salt? Explain.
Why not?
Exactly.
So, is there like a restaurant that like collects human salt and then uses that to season their meat?
I don't think so.
Pretty
we
sure
might-
that would be a violation of some kind.
We should open.
First and foremost, it sounds extremely uneconomical.
And
All right, Robin.
Gross.
We're gonna need you to sit in the sauna and then come out, and then we're gonna like scrape the dead skin cells and the salt into a vial, and then we're gonna like.
I feel
I
like
do
this
eat
is
a lot of
really
salt,
bad
so-
business
He's like,
model.
"So
I
you
feel
could
like this is
use me
really
for
bad
that."
business model.
You know,
I
I mean, I do eat a lot of salt, so I can't speak for how much salt I would sweat out without further testing. But I do doubt this venture.
How much chatfish can we feed with one Robin in terms of salt? Like, how many chatfish burgers can be salted?
now, are you saying the Chavish is the burger, or they want to consume a burger
We
with
will-
Robin salt?
What else is on this burger that needs this much fucking salt? That's what I'm wondering.
We might not need
Like,
so
Jesus
much. We
Christ.
gotta figure out how much. Maybe only needs a little bit. Maybe it's like, just one forearm per burger.
It seems like an awful lot.
Like, that means he's got to go back and in, Like, we're gonna have like a, 15-minute timer before the next burger's ready, because it takes that long to catch more salt. The
Oh,
sweat
you mean
it out.
you're gonna scrape it off of my arm so that you were gonna chop it off?
What? No,
Just put him on
well,
a
then
treadmill and make him run.
we're
for
only
his
gonna
whole
get
shift.
enough salt for like one burger if we chop your arm off. Like
Yeah.
this is very short-sighted.
I mean, that was my concern, indeed.
Your job is to drink
That's my
water
concern.
and then sweat your fucking ass off for an hour.
Yeah, and then we get the salt, and then we feed it to chat.
Robin, if I were you, I would not sign up for this as a job.
Like,
I, mean,
I don't
it
know,
does
maybe
not
it could
sound.
they could pay pretty
weird.
well. Like, maybe like rich chatfish will be like, yes, $10,000 for a Robin salted burger. So fucking gross.
The image is this curse, dude. No, I
It's
don't
all
want
salt.
I'd like some robin salt, please.
No, you say that, but
That's
you
the
know,
robin salt.
I'm just not interested in eating your
Let me
sweat.
overcharge it.
Sometimes
Well,
on this channel, we've
it's just
talked
the
about the
salt.
weirdest things.
Whose fault is that?
Right?
There's a common denominator, and it just so happens that it's chat. Chat's been here every time this happens. Chat's been here every time.
Well,
That spell isn't ready yet.
what's wrong with you?
I do agree. Yes, this is someone's problem. But if you notice, look at, and I'll point to the chat box. Look at all those chatfish there. They've been there every goddamn
I need to
time.
target something first.
Thinking about Robin's salt.
As the English screams, he's like, see, Jason. Potato, says you go food. See, I like how I look in there, and I don't read for context. And I just read two things. Hugo Fugi, potato. And in English, I am my food. And then Gobi says, you could do it, Robin, but it will cost you an arm and a leg. We're not going to use his leg for the meat.
You never made that clear before.
We're just using it for the salt.
You know the scene from The Walking Dead season 2, Kibbo?
No, I don't,
the
because I
Telltale
didn't watch
game.
it, so. Oh, yeah, I've seen the game, yeah.
Robin's the guy that got eaten.
Oh my god, they chopped him up. That's because they were dumb. They were using, like, him for meat and salt. When they shouldn't have used him for salting.
Can't cast that yet.
What a
I mean,
speech
maybe
fund.
they were hungry, dude.
Genghis. Listen, you may be my little fish toy, but this stream isn't going to be going on long enough to activate a speech fund. In the Elden Ring one, I'll make you that promise. We can do a speech fund in the Elden Ring one. It's a little late to do it in this one because this one's going to be wrapping up here soon. Like, how long do we go until we think we crash? Like, what? Do we fix it?
Gold,
Is
Your
this a-
Majesty.
is it my CPU problem? Fuck me, I fucking hate this.
I mean,
It's
it's
the CPU
better.
RAM. It's either way. It's running better right now.
All right, maybe
That's all
we
I
just
know.
replace both. Like, I don't know. Is that what? Should we do that, Chet? Should we just like do a fund and then stretch goal and the stretch goals replace both, or do we just try one or the other?
That spell isn't ready yet.
I don't know, dude.
I know.
Good answer.
I don't know either.
It's honestly this kind of error that it could be the motherboard too.
Oh my god,
Honestly.
you're right.
Like
So motherboard, RAM,
it
and
could
CPU.
be
GPU is
it's something
fine.
that could be fixed with like a BIOS update. I don't like doing BIOS updates because I've done it like 3 times and like 2 times it's bricked my my motherboard.
Oh my fuck.
Microbios updates are a whole different animal, but
Yeah.
it's still something to be concerned about because they can go sideways. I've had them go sideways even on the line, and it's a pain in the ass.
The best part is when you just it's just like, oh, all you have to do is download it to a USB, plug in the USB, and then it'll do it. And then you plug in the USB, and it starts loading, and it's like 10%. And then 2 hours later, it's like 10%, and I'm like,
That's when you freak out.
okay.
Well, nowadays, modern motherboards, thank God they've done this. They've made it much harder to, like back in the day, you used to be able to sit, the SKUs used to be so close together, so the model numbers used to be very close together, and as an effect of that, it was very easy to download the wrong BIOS entirely for your machine. And it wouldn't say, oh, this is for the I version of this motherboard, not the E version.
Oh,
Stupid.
dude.
And then you'd put it on there, and like the SATA controller or some other such nonsense would be different. And as a result, the whole thing just would be borked completely. I don't know what
My my local computer store, pretty much every single computer that we've ever bought is through them. And what I've noticed there is that like every single time that you buy something there, let's say you buy like an NVIDIA 1060 Ti. It's like the most common fucking card. But when you get it there, it's gonna be like an NVIDIA 1060 Ti -F.
Can't cast that
and when you Google it, it doesn't exist, but it is a different card.
Yes. It's a
And
different
I'm
SKU.
like,
And that matters. And it's like, motherfucker, why do you have to do this to me as a consumer?
yeah.
All I want to do is have fun and play video games. Like, no, you got to make this so difficult for no reason. It's no wonder that so few people, even though it has gained popularity, it's no wonder that so few people do PC gaming still. It really isn't.
What? I
It's like
thought
you
most
guys
people
haven't
do.
figured out the basic shit to make it easy on people. Like it honestly should be. Like, people go to
Yeah.
consoles because you plug it in, you're good,
Not anymore.
and you have well, yeah, not as much anymore because PCs have finally started
We have
to
reached
cross
the
over
point
that
where
threshold.
it's pretty easy. Like, honestly, this issue. Now, granted, the previous piece, the one that I have hands using, works just fine. And still runs fine. The one I built before that, that my dad uses, is starting to wear. You know, it's old. That's. Fuck! Please tell me there's another way up there. Didn't really factor if you fell down, did they? Yeah, fair. I wouldn't have done that either. Not everybody can
Yeah.
fall off that ledge.
It should still be
And
an easier hobby. It should have an easier point of entry.
Well, yeah, of
yeah,
course.
I mean, a big problem earlier as well has been that, like, in reality, 95% of consumers would just like to buy a pre-built PC.
Yep.
But buying a pre-built PC, and I would say especially in the US, it's like the vendor you're buying it from, it's gonna be like a complete gamble if it's just some fucking
It's a bit
garbage, or
sketchy
you're
if you
getting
don't
scammed,
research. Yep.
or they don't know what the fuck they're doing when they're putting the parts together either, you know.
My
And-
dad got a computer. It's a Chinese app, but he got it from his girlfriend who passed away. Actually, got it for him before she died. And there's not this on paper. It sounded okay, you know. We get it in, and I go up and I help him out, and I'm like, wait, where's the hard drive? You know, and I'm thinking, oh well, maybe it's like a SATA drive they didn't hook up because they didn't send it with the GPU hooked up. We had to hook up the GPU ourselves. Blah blah blah. I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll dig around, I'll find it. I find a USB stick. I did not find a hard drive. Not a SATA drive, not a spin and disk drive, not an M.2 drive, nothing. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I plugged it in and tried to boot off of it. Turns out that was the fucking hard drive for the computer. It didn't have even an M.2 slot or a SATA fucking controller on the motherboard at all. The thing will not ever have a hard drive in it. And I'm
My
like,
running theory
so
is that
stupid.
Microsoft and Sony will one day, probably, if I had to guess, just start selling pre-built PCs because consoles kind of already are.
They are. 100%
Like they just have
already are.
yet to go the final stretch.
The only difference is that Sony has their own proprietary hypervisor as an operating system, and Microsoft has their own proprietary version of Hyper-V running on the Xbox, which runs in Windows and Windows Server. That's also why they made DirectX 12. Fun fact.
Have a good one. See you later.
There are more and more companies popping up that are making rebuilds as well that
That are good.
I think are less scams.
Hi, you're a tall one.
Yeah.
I'll
Like,
Well, like,
not
I
alien,
went-
You
right?
have a great
I went with
Basically.
Minis Forum for my laptop, which is a laptop tablet combo. Fantastic device, great specs, great price. They have a ton of mini PCs that are great for project boxes. These guys make good shit, and like they can't be much margin in what they sell, but at the same time, like you get really good products and they give really good service. And I would never have thought a
And
company
you,
in Hong Kong would be my solution
Beware.
for my PCs instead of Dell. If I wanted a pre-built laptop,
Yeah.
blows my mind. Didn't used to be like that, but now, yeah, I would tell anybody if they're going to get into the hobby, take your sweet time and watch every video about building your own possible. Seriously, like build your own. You save a lot of money, save a lot of time actually, and you learn. All wins.
To be perfectly honest, for the most part, as long as, well, I don't even know if I want to say as long as you don't buy cutting edge, but I have never really had big computer issues, and I've always built my own PCs, almost always, and to be quite frank, I kind of just throw things together.
So what
Just-
you're talking about is what we used to call a plug and pray.
Pretty much.
That's
But
yeah.
like, as long as you just, if you look at a part and you Google it and you're like, you just Google the part error or crash or bad, then you'll get something, right? And if it's nothing horrible that pops up right away, like you're probably fine. Most motherboards support all of the CPUs that the sockets fit. Like it's gonna support almost every single RAM stick. If you buy whatever is like, because in some countries you have like Price Runner or whatever, and if you just look at the list of like what's popular right now, just grab that. You're probably gonna be set with something that actually works just fine. You know, it's pretty damn hard to actually buy things that are gonna clash
They're
and give you
incompatible hardware.
problems.
Yeah, hardware for
Yeah.
the most part, unless you're going like bottom basement discounts, then you're
Yeah.
probably not going to run into that problem. Or unless you're like severe generation mismatches. For instance, like an NVIDIA 680 Ti with an Intel 14900K. Probably going to run into some weirdness. That is a nearly, what, 15-year-old GPU? Should have been replaced. Even if it was
Mhm.
working fine, 100%, no hardware problems, you're still going to run into some weird problems because that card isn't even driver supported anymore by NVIDIA. So good luck. Like you're going to run into a lot of weird problems like that. So honestly, if you're buying a modern PC, like Newegg, even Amazon has resources on there. They're like, oh, you're building a PC. These things go together, and it doesn't hurt that they offer bundles as well for like CPU and motherboard, and RAM even too. So it's like, oh, that's the kind of CPU that goes in this, motherboard, or oh, that's the kind of RAM I need to get for this combo, or whatever. You're gonna find your answer without even looking, really, just by not even going out of your way to look, I should say, just by opening your eyes on the page that you're already on, shopping.
Yeah.
But to know what your best dollar to performance ratio is per part, like I like to do, it's going to take you a while. And you're going to spend a lot of time researching some real weird stuff that's like, you may not even do a lot of, like, for instance, video encoding, but the video encoding may be the best facsimile to what you actually do with your computer, because it may be the closest like use case people are talking about that happens to be what you use your computer for. It's a real pain in the ass.
Yeah. Well, like the two most common issues that I can even think of. Well, today I would say people not buying an SSD is
Yes.
probably like the biggest mistake you can do. Like
Yep.
you cannot run computers on hard drives anymore. You need an SSD or an M2.
And I would
But
say honestly that most people just don't even use the phrase SSD. Use NVMe. That way you're specifically saying use a drive that runs on the PCI Express bus. Specifically. That's there's a massive speed difference. Because
Mhm.
SATA maxes out at 500 megs a second. Whereas M.2, depending upon the generation, M.2 third generation, which is the first generation M.2 drives that were publicly consumer available, run at, I want to say 4 gigs a second. So that's 8 times faster. Double
Yeah.
that for PCI Express 4. Double it again for 5, which we're at right now.
I have a what is this? It's not showing me a proper name. But yeah, I bought. I think it was an M2 I bought pretty recently, and I installed that instead of an SSD for my my OS. And to be frank, I don't really consider the difference that big. So for me, like going between that or an SSD, I think SSDs are just perfectly fine. It's just that the difference between an SSD and a hard drive is so massive that like a
Yes.
hard drive just can't support modern operating
Nope.
systems anymore.
Now,
But
spinning Rust is slow. It's great for data integrity. So if you're backing stuff up, that's fine. But No, just
Yeah.
go solid state. Like solid at minimum, get yourself an SSD and then do yourself a favor and buy nice storage. You'll thank yourself later. You really will.
Yeah. And secondary after that, I think it is like I don't really care that much about RAM, but I think it is an easy thing to ignore and be like, I don't really like RAM doesn't really matter that much. I'll just buy like some cheap shit. And a friend of mine brought over his new computer at one point, like 20 years ago. And this was a brand new computer. And whenever he tried playing anything, shit just kept artifacting and games just kept crashing nonstop. It ran like dog shit. And when I started going through the computer and checking it out, and this is where my rule of thumb came where it came from. But I looked at his hardware and I saw his RAM, and it was just these green, just silicone sticks with just
Yeah.
some chips on them. And I looked at them and I looked them up on the internet, and it was literally just like some $20 or less RAM. And it was so dog shit. Even though it had enough like memory, it was just so bad that the computer could barely run with it. It was just trash.
Yeah,
And
it's
and
like
and
it will. It just won't do it right.
and that's where I started thinking like, yeah, like if you're gonna buy RAM, as long as it looks like a race car, it's probably good enough. If it doesn't, then you're going way too cheap.
Honestly,
that's
like
the-
it's like with fuel. Buy if you have a nice car, buy good gas.
Yeah.
Feel it. Car likes it. It prefers it. The manufacturer probably suggests it. Same thing goes with RAM.
hmm And the next thing that I've seen sometimes is when people don't really have that much money, but they still want to build a gaming PC, they might go up to like a higher line, like a newer model line, and they might buy like a 30 series Nvidia card, but they go with the lowest number. They buy like a 3020 or whatever is the lowest now. I don't know. And then it fucking sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's
Like
just
it's
turbo budget, and it's just not made for gaming in reality. Even though it's like a high model line, it's just that's not what they're for, and it just can't do anything.
well, there's a time and a place for everything. And gaming on a 3050, there's not a time and a place for that for me. Maybe for somebody else, you know. Not for me.
Yeah.
It's what do you want to get out of it? You get what you pay for, and like the amount of love that you give the system is the amount of love it gives back to you, is how I find it in this hobby. So I don't know. I'm happy at this point in my life to just spend my way out of the problems that lower end computers have.
Wish wish I had that luxury, but yeah, I get the idea.
Honestly, it's a luxury that's only recently happened, and honestly, it would never have happened if my wife didn't leave me. So I'm happy.
Well, I'm glad that turned out for the better for
Yeah, fuck that bitch. I would never have a 4090 if it didn't have her, if she was still in my life. Remember that. Remember that, boys.
True.
Fair enough.
No, I don't know. Everybody goes on about how, it's too expensive. Yeah, sure. There's a lot of hobbies that are really fucking expensive. Like people go off. I've had people who are Jeep hobbyists go off on me about how PC gaming is too expensive, and I look at them like, motherfucker, you spent $4,000 on a low-end carburetor solution for your shitty CJ7. Don't talk to me about how I spent $1,700 on sale for my video card. Don't. You have no
Mhm.
room. But no, you got your own priorities. If your priority is to have the best experience possible, you got to pay for it. But if you have a 1080p TV you just want to play some games, dude, a 1080 Ti still will do that on most games, frankly. And
Yeah.
you know,
Right
1080p.
right now, and I will be. I don't know if this is a little bit controversial, but the current GPU prices, they are the way they have skyrocketed. It is kind of misleading, in my opinion, because
Yes.
we haven't just been going up in GPU power. We're also in a paradigm shift, like away from traditional 1080p 60 FPS resolution and performance, and now everybody is expecting to run games at 4K, 144 or like over 200s frame rate, and
Mhm.
that's a performance demand increase of like 8 times.
At least more than in some
Yeah.
circumstances, because just the resolution, that's one step. Then you have the level of detail beyond that as another step. And sure, there are solutions that make that easier on the hardware, like variable rate shading and stuff like that, but it doesn't change the fact that if you want that experience, you got to pay for it. And it's an
Yeah.
available experience for anybody who can afford it. Absolutely anybody. We don't gatekeep anybody. Unless you don't have the money, then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. The only discrimination in this hobby is money. So I love this. I love it for that. But at the same time, I can see definitely why most people would be like, man, fuck video games. I ain't paying $1,700 for a good experience just for the GPU.
Yeah.
And to them,
But
I'd say, yeah, good idea. You're probably right.
and in my for me personally, getting that like 4K 144 hertz whatever, I really don't care about that at all. Like, I'm a 1080p 60 FPS gamer, so for me, graphics card prices are still pretty affordable. It's like a $400 thing, and I get a card that runs everything that I want to play at the frame rates I want to play it at the resolution I want to play it at, perfectly. And there's not a single game that I can't run at max settings now. And
Yeah.
I just bought a mid-range card.
Yeah.
And it
But the
was
problem
pretty cheap.
Mid-range though, like there was an article I read about that the other day, actually. Mid-range hasn't changed in the last 6 years. So like a 3060 is the equivalent of a 4060, even though on paper the numbers in the 4060 look better. You know, more CUDA processors, more, VRAM, all that sort of stuff, faster VRAM. But at the same time, you are getting nearly one-to-one performance. You're not seeing, except on a few select titles, anything more than maybe 5% of a bump. And you're paying more, quite a bit more, for the same same card essentially. From a 3060 to a 4060, it's damn near the same thing. Only difference is like DLSS 3 and 3.5 support. That's it. It's the only difference effectively you're seeing between them. So there's not really a reason to buy a 4060 to spend that extra money, and it sucks as somebody in the mid range, because you're to stay in the mid range, just to stay to mid range and not be downgraded to low range. You're looking at an additional $500 at the gate at least. That's a deal breaker for some people. That's a lot of money.
However, it is now time to start wrapping up today's stream, isn't it? Time for Binsky to get
That
some
is
sleep.
absolutely true.
Crawl on your little Binsky bed and go to bed.
But thank you, Frank, for joining us and helping us out and having a chat.
Always happy to, guys. Thanks for having me. It's been fun chat. I love you guys. It was fun hanging out.
And good job on reaching the daily goal chat. We'll be back in a little bit. Hans and I are going to take care of dinner. And then we're going to get Elden Ring rolling. We're going to be a little late to the Elden Ring, so I'll reschedule the stream due to all the things. But for all intents and purposes, at the current present date and time, it might be a CPU issue because so far the crash has not yet occurred again. So we'll find out. Either way, Chatfish, we'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.